Welcome back to Lorehammer. Hey, it's me. I'm back. I made it for the final Death Guard episode. I'm your host, Mark. We're doing final Death Guard episode. Joining, we got Fishy back from the third one.
Yeah. Hello, everyone.
Yeah, welcome. Glad to have you back. And we also got Triple Gaff. What does your name say here?
Triple Gaff, the Tainted.
The Tainted. It cut off halfway, so I didn't see the Tainted part. Well,
Triple Gaff,
Tainted. Yeah, exactly. Now that's
we're off to a start.
Yeah. We were joking about the last episode, which is 75% sexual tension. We'll see if we can up those numbers. Those are rookie numbers.
It was the first time together. That's my excuse.
Yeah. No, that's pretty good though. Had a good time listening to it. It's always fun when I don't make an episode and then I get to listen to Lorehammer as the listener myself. It's kind of a treat. So good job.
That's funny. I had the opposite as a listener. I listened to the episode and I was like, "Who is this guy? He just won't shut up." His voice is so
good. No, he's fine. Sure, he might hit on you, but it's fine. Let's do some quick housekeeping and dive into this episode. Come join the Discord. It's a lot of fun. You can meet new people. You can post pictures of your stuff. I think I posted a picture of a Night of Slaughter on there the other day. So go check that out. You can post your minis and what you're working on. There's a link to the Discord below. So come hang out.
And if you're joining the Discord, feel free to join the Patreon. Throw some money at Mark and join the Imperial Tithe. Support the show. Support everything we do here. So you can get an ad-free version for $2.50. Which is about half a pint of milk probably nowadays, or the live stream version for just $5. It's not a lot. It's cheaper than a coffee. Throw it in, you can, and it's great fun.
Yeah, joining the Patreon gets you the live stream access. You can chat with us during the show, and as time allows, you can call in and chat with us there too. It's a lot of fun.
Nice. Cool. So going into this episode, I've kind of had two thoughts about the Death Guard, and we'll see what you guys think about it. The first thought was when I'm writing these notes, man, there really wasn't a lot of information on them. There's a lot of information, but I feel like not a lot of events or variation, kind of a lot of the same stuff just over and over. That was the first thing I kind of noticed. And then the second thing I kind of noticed is they almost always seem to fill your archetypical bad guy role of your faceless villain. Where it's okay, so we have somebody bad. Let's put a Nurgle guy in there. We obviously know it's a bad guy because he's some type of zombie. It's kind of this given baddie character. What do you guys think of those two kind of thoughts?
I think you can tell they're from Albion. It's a film trope as well. Make a British guy the bad guy.
True.
Yeah. Well, that's fine. You guys are fun doing that. That's kind of what I got my vibe from doing them and researching that. Just they seem to not have a lot of information. And they kind of fill that nameless baddie role more often than the other legions.
I think it was 8th edition where they got their launch box. I could be wrong. I didn't check any dates, but it felt like Death Guard went from not really having any lore, kind of being pushed to the side like Iron Hands. And then when that 8th edition box, they got a bunch of spotlight. Lords of Silence, the Dark Imperium books. They showed up for the last Heresy book.
Yeah.
They flipped a switch and all of a sudden started getting writing.
Yeah, I wonder if something happened there, if they weren't as popular back in the day, or if it just happened to be with release cycles, or they had the really old Death Guard upgrade kit way back in the day from I don't know, probably 2000s, early 2000s, and that's all you really had for them. So maybe it was just, but I don't know. You had Khorne Berserkers, they had just the same small amount. They just kind of weren't around.
I mean, felt like they
go for it. Go on, Gaff. Go.
It felt like they were in the writing room for the Horus Heresy, patting themselves on the back, congratulations, guys, we did it. We wrapped up the 76 book series. Did we write about Mortarion? Fuck, everyone get back in here. We got to do one more book. One more book, everybody.
Everyone's just sort of pointing at one another saying you were meant to do it.
I thought you were doing that, Craig. Fuck. Yeah.
But yeah, since the release of the Dark Imperium box, the Death Guard have certainly become a lot more popular, I think, certainly on the tabletop scene.
Yeah.
Because the models are cool. The models are just, they speak volumes. But it just needs that more padding out in the lore. It's just, they are, as you say, just the generic bad guy.
Yeah, they kind of fill that role. Okay, well, I'm glad I'm not the only one who kind of got that vibe. I don't think they deserve that role. They have like a lot of interesting stuff. Like, you know, we did the Mortarion episodes and talked about like just how everything he hates he becomes, and that's kind of the standard thing when you follow the chaos. Like there's a lot of fun stuff to him, so it was kind of sad seeing reduced to that. But we'll see if we can get them back up in the ranks. They are one of the big 4 legions, and they are one of the legions that never actually dissolves. Like the Black Legion doesn't fully dissolve, and the Death Guard. And those are really the only two. Every other one kind of breaks down into warbands. This episode, we're gonna go into we're gonna be doing the history. You know, about 30k to 40k. Their appearance, their symbols, homeworld. They change from barbarous to the plague planet. Recruitment, gene seed, combat doctrine, beliefs. A lot of those same beliefs, like the cups. The number 7, those things carry on and only enhance. And then organization, they get this whole kind of interesting organization breakdown around like plague companies, sepsis cohorts, maledictums, colonies, all these kind of like words that like, I don't know, have no meaning until you read what they're about. And you're like, oh, okay, so the sepsis is about like corrupting and like bringing demon plague. And like, then you kind of really get a layout like, okay, what are the maledictums? Okay, I know kind of what a maledictum is, but what is a maledictum company? So we'll get into all those. That's kind of fun. The colonies one is pretty cool too. And then, yeah, we'll dive into their armory and talk about a couple more weapons that they kind of prefer.
I'm so glad you did the notes for the Legion layout.
Yeah.
The thing is, you look at just all of the naming convention, it just makes your skin shiver. You don't want anything to do with any of those things. A colony,
Usually not.
A plague, a maledictum. No, I'm good, thanks. I'll just have the chicken.
No foul blight spawn chicken for you, just the regular chicken.
Please tell me that pun was intended.
Oh man, yeah.
But right, well, should we jump straight into it? Death Guard 40k Warband era. The Death Guard are one of the traitor legions, and among the most enduring servants of chaos. They belong wholly to Nurgle, the Lord of Decay, whose gifts have transformed them into plague marines. Their bodies rot endlessly within their armor, becoming breeding grounds for disease and corruption, yet death refuses to claim them. Their flesh decays, renews, and decays again in an endless cycle, while their bodies endure wounds and sickness that would destroy ordinary warriors. After the Great Scouring, Mortarion led the Death Guard into the Eye of Terror. Unlike many of the traitor legions, the Death Guard remain largely intact. Their discipline, resilience, and devotion to their Primarch prevented them from splintering entirely into independent warbands. Within the Eye, Mortarion claimed a demon world and reshaped it into the Plague Planet, a diseased reflection of the world that had once been his home. There, the Death Guard endured. For 10,000 years, the Legion has continued its war against the Imperium. Its plague companies launch invasions, join wider chaos offensives, and emerge from the warp wherever disease can weaken the enemy before the first attack begins. Their plagues spread through cities, fleets, trenches, and entire worlds. Imperial armies have watched defensive lines collapse beneath infections they could neither understand nor contain, only for the Death Guard to advance through the ruin. The Death Guard do not merely conquer worlds, they prepare them for decay. Wherever Mortarion's sons march, the same truth follows. Flesh fails, armor rusts, empires weaken. All these things eventually succumb. The Death Guard are simply patient enough to wait for the inevitable. Their bodies decay, their minds are ancient, their armor is corroded, their purpose remains unchanged. They advance, they endure, and wherever they go, the galaxy begins to rot.
Yeah. Have you guys ever watched like those documentaries. I think it's called like What Happens When Humans Are Gone or something like that.
Yeah.
But basically, yeah, where they'll take like New York City and then they'll put it on like a super fast timeline, and it's like this is what it looks like in 100 years. It's like, okay, so there's a couple trees. In 500 years, okay, buildings have fallen down, and then 10,000 years, it's just flat. There's nothing left.
Just look at Chernobyl. How quickly nature takes back and recuperates and just screw you, mankind. This is ours.
Even like a radiated spot nature's taking back. And I think about the Death Guard, and I think about the 10,000 years and just like this like slow rotting of the Imperium, where they're just crumbling everything around them. That like no buildings from 10,000 years ago exist if they've been around. They've just rotted everything around them. It just turns to slag and mush.
It's just the rot, the decay, and then rotting again.
Rot's rotting.
Yeah, it's that inevitable. I know we've spoken about it, talking about Mortarion and Death Guard. That inevitability of death. It's that running theme throughout, and the idea of watching a defensive line just disappear, and then see the Death Guard just marching through it, not a care in the world.
Like a manifestation of despair.
Exactly. Yes.
Oh. Yeah, they're probably one of the ultimate like black pilled in this galaxy. They seem happy and stuff. They're happy to do their deeds and stuff, but like, ultimately it just the kings of entropy. Everything will end when they're around them. You could just drop one plague marine on a planet. He just digs himself in a little hole, sits there for 100 years, and rots out the planet. Happy little fellow, just playing in the mud.
They did that. They had an invasion where they sent a sorcerer. Sorcerer's the last survivor that made it to the planet, and he just sat in the sewers summoning demons for who knows how long until the whole planet fell.
Something is coming from playing with his butt, I think. Creating all types of nurglings, and that's a great story. I love that. But I think that's like, you can't do that same thing with other legions. They don't have that same power of like time and nature and just decay with them. Like a Khorne Berserker, he's gonna cut your head off, but then it's over for you. He's not resurrecting your corpse to make you wander around to feast off grandma. It's done.
I think that's why they don't get written about that much, to be honest. Because when they do show up, they're like an 11th hour big boss, serious threat that's gonna do damage. So if they were showing up in like constantly throughout stories, I feel like it would kind of lessen the impact they do have.
Yeah. Like, how do you write about a horrific plague if you can't kill all the Imperial Guardsmen and wipe out the planet? Like, if they show up, it's like you said, that end stage. When we get into their history, they've broken their history into kind of 4 different phases, like remission. I forget what they're all like. Remission. We'll get to them eventually, but they're pretty cool how they broke them down.
Like
where
diseases?
where it's like, and then it's like it's slowly bubbling up, and then it gets more, and then finally it's like the full plague happens. And it's kind of just like that slow build up.
I feel like Death Guard are almost, apart from the Alpha Legion, Death Guard and Alpha Legion are the 2 patient traitor legions.
Yeah.
Everyone else wants action and they want something done. And I think that's what makes them the scariest.
Yeah, that's interesting. Everyone else kind of has like goals almost.
It's not a big shock battle. It's not a set piece. All it takes is one sorcerer for a planet to fall. So you've got to make sure that you do get rid of them.
Oh, man. Yeah. Very cool. So let's dive into their history. We'll start with the post-scouring. We've talked a lot about 30k time, so we'll move the timeline forward a bit and see what they're up to.
Gotcha. I got a quote for the post-scouring to kind of illustrate why the Plague Marines are so loyal. Because when you read about them, it just says over and over, they love Mortarion. They're so loyal to him. But here's the
personality.
Why. Yeah. He says this a lot. The God. For Vorks, there is no pantheon. The allegiance of other powers is, for him, mistaken or wicked. There is only one genuine deified motive entity in the universe, the one that the Primarch knelt before. If that were not true, How could he commit such acts? How else could he cleave to the path that has spilled so many oceans of innocent blood? Post-scouring, within the Eye of Terror, Mortarion reshaped the Plague Planet into a reflection of lost Barbarous. The old tyrant's place had been taken, and the Primarch now ruled the world from the heights, presiding over a realm of disease, oppression, and decay. By the 41st millennium, Mortarion remained a living demon prince and the undisputed master of the Death Guard. After millennia of war within the Warp, he returned to real space to lead the Legion during the Plague Wars and once again bring the full weight of the Death Guard against the Imperium. From the Cadian Gate and beyond, the Death Guard continue their campaigns across the galaxy. They march as vast hosts or lend their strength to allied forces, leaving worlds infected and dying in their wake. Typhus, the Traveler, has pursued his own path, carrying Nurgle's contagion into the wider galaxy and waging a war that no longer depends upon Mortarion's command. During the 13th Black Crusade, his campaigns established new plague-ridden strongholds, ensuring that the Death Guard's corruption would continue to spread long after the battlefields were abandoned.
Yeah, very cool. So the Legion kind of has two forms for the 10,000 years, and then it kind of gets solidified. For 10,000 years, like, Mortarion is happy to kind of just chill and sit on his throne. He doesn't do much. He doesn't leave. He just, like, he doesn't even have a throne. He stands over, like, the para parts of his world or something like that and just, like, scowls at the population, you know? Is angrily up there. So he hasn't done much. So we've mentioned Typhus, who kind of takes, like, the lead of the Death Guard. He was their first captain and stuff. So he kind of leads for 10,000 years. Eventually, Mortarion does take up the mantle and the reign again with the Plague Wars in, like, M41. Like, when Boot Gilliman comes back, then Mortarion's like, I can come back too now or whatever. I'm going to get revenge on my brother. And then he actually takes control of the Legion. But basically, we have this, like, 10,000-year history where they're doing things, but they're kind of, yeah, like we said, they don't have, like, specific goals. Like with Abaddon, he has the 13th Black Crusades. We know what he's up to, where these guys are kind of just showing up, rotting a place at random, not really doing anything, just spreading rot, essentially. That's their goal.
For sure.
But then, yeah, when Mortarion comes back, he kind of, like, rebuilds the Legion, kind of re-solidifies it, kind of gets everything back to how he had it once before. And now the Legion, once again, does seem to have, like, a purpose for going out. And this time it's, like, for vengeance. Like, my brothers are out there, we're going to get them.
It's directed decay as opposed to just decay for decay's sake.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And Typhus is a motherfucker. He is cruel and vindictive when he ventures out into real space.
Yeah. He's a cool character. You probably know more about him than I do. Do you have, like, any short story anecdotes about him for me?
Yeah, I do, actually.
Okay. Oh, fuck. Look at that.
I was going to save it for later, but this works perfect too. Typhus, these are all very short little blurbs from the Codex, but Typhus duels here on Blackheart and beats his ass and leaves him alive to demonstrate how generous and powerful Nurgle is. Then, Typhus and the First Company raid Medusa, the Iron Hand's homeworld, and there's still giant sections of the planet that are, like, current quarantined curse zones that no one can step foot into.
What a dick.
He's such a piece of shit. But it seems like he focuses a lot of time and energy on just fucking with loyalist space marines.
Yeah. Yeah, like, the Death Guard don't seem to have much desire to fuck around Xenos or, like, orcs or anything like that. Like, you know, a Khorne Berserker is going to have a good time fighting anyone. Yeah, he might prefer the Imperium, but, like, the Death Guard are Imperium focused for sure.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a sweet model. Yeah, so he's kind of like the leader for 10,000 years, and they go on a bunch of little misadventures, but nothing too serious. No grand crusades that they are able to call. They join Black Crusades when they're called, but they don't do their own big stuff.
There is a really cool image of Typhus messing up some Tau,
Yeah.
which I massively appreciate.
Yeah.
And it is Warhammer official art.
I've seen some people make the conversion of this artwork, and it's sweet. Where he's holding up the towel one-handed, like by the neck, tight.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, if you get in the way, they're going to decay you, nonetheless. So either way about it, they will decay you if you get there.
I thought that campaign had a name, so I was looking through the timeline real quick, but nope.
Oh, I'm sure it does. But maybe not. I don't know. Well, there's a bigger blow-up picture of it. Very cool.
Oh.
So I mentioned those different times. We won't go into any specific battles this episode. We'll do its own episode where we can get into all these little nitty-gritty battles they get into. But they do break it up into 4 time zones called the time of remission, the time of infection, the time of outbreaks, and the time of rotting. So we'll go through these and learn a little bit more. The time of remission, M32 to M41. The disease lies dormant. The symptoms fade, the fever breaks, and the afflicted may believe that the danger is past. The Death Guard know better. Remission is not recovery, but the silence in between infections. Within the body, the plague remains, waiting for the moment to awake and resume its work. Very fucking cool. The time of infection, M41. The plague enters the body and begins its unseen work. At the first, there may be little more than weakness, fever, or change in the color of skin. Then the infection takes root. The victim's strength begins to fail as disease spreads through the blood, flesh, and organs. By the time the first true symptoms appear, the battle has already been decided. And then we go into the time of outbreaks, M41 to M42. The infection leaves. The individual spreads among the population. Villages, cities, armies, entire worlds become breeding grounds for contagion. The Death Guard favor this stage above all others, for every infected victim becomes a possible carrier. Panic, quarantine, resistance only delay the inevitable. The plague moves through the population until no one remains untouched. And then the time of rotting, M41 to M42. The final stage is not simply death, but decay made permanent. Bodies fail, structures collapse, and infected worlds become a monument to Nurgle's endurance. The living become the dead become vectors, and the remains of civilization sink into filth. Nothing is truly wasted, everything rots, and in that rot, the cycle begins anew again. Fucking tight.
Chaos in its purest form. Just ruining everything it can get its hands on.
Yeah.
And in that ruin, then fulfilling the next stage. It's that never-ending cycle.
Yeah, I love these stages, man. I think they didn't do the times long. Like we did like time remission M32 to M41, and then everything else is in M41 and M42. They should have maybe spread that out a bit. And like I've never read this before. Maybe Triple Gaff, have you ever read these before anywhere? I wonder if they're a new edition or like, okay.
These it's I think everyone kind of gets this a little bit with like the old 80s Horus Heresy lore conflicting with modern stuff. But Death Guard are full of contradictions and little one-offs where you read it and you're like, what the fuck does that even mean in the context of the Death Guard?
What's it even mean?
But that's the fun part. You get to just make it up in your head. Go, that sounds right. That's what they do.
Yeah.
And until you go to a local club and there's another guy or girl who read it differently. Let's be honest, it's going to be a guy if they're a Death Guard fan.
Yeah.
And they've read it completely differently, and you end up arguing and probably just making out in the corner with just on your own. But yeah.
Oh, on your own. Okay.
On your own together. No one else wants to be near you. But that's half the joy, isn't it? Yes, there's contradictions. We're talking about what, 40 years of lore?
Yeah.
Of different people coming and going. So, and it might be that
this one isn't
not
that bad, like not that egregious. It's just like, this is such a cool idea. I think they need to expand on it. Like, it's just so cinematic. You can just see how it happens, and like you can see their approach to how they view the Imperium as like, don't worry, the plague's coming back. Like, oh, the Imperium's fucked. They don't even know that they have the plague. Like, they're snickering to themselves. Like,
and it almost justifies what they were doing before Mortarion came back to the helm. for those 10,000
Yeah.
years. It's just we're just letting them forget about us a bit. Think that we're just gone away.
Yeah.
We're just going to be quiet, and then we're going to sneak up.
Yeah, but we're mutating, we're changing in the darkness to come back. Even crazier, yeah. Very cool.
Oh,
Cool. Yeah, so we're past history. There's always so many different little battles you could. When I was going through, I didn't really see any major ones. Like, and I've been trying to avoid anything that happens past Dark Imperium. Like, they're gonna get their own kind of little stuff.
me too.
There was one other battle that happened with Mortarion and the Grey Knights, but even this happened in M41.
I don't know what you're talking about. I've never heard of that battle before, actually.
Okay. Well, we won't mention it then. Only OGs can know about that one.
No,
So
Kaldor Drago embarrasses Mortarion. It's rough.
Yeah, and that was like the most notable thing. Like every other battle I found, it was like, okay, they either won or lost, but the galaxy didn't shift in any meaningful way. Nothing really happened. But that one, basically the story is Kaldor Drago, a Grey Knight, and he travels into the warp to do it, doesn't he? He finds Mortarion.
Nah, not yet. This is
No,
before
not yet.
Kaldor Drago's even like a special person.
Okay.
The Mortarion. So it was the Grey Knights setting up this ritual to fuck with Mortarion. And he showed up with the Death Guard to crush it. They succeed. But Kaldor Drago, against all expectation, gets promoted to Supreme Grandmaster because Mortarion just killed the previous Supreme Grandmaster. So this guy on the first minutes of his new job, solos Mortarion and carves his initials into his heart before he kills him and banishes him back into the warp.
God damn. That's so crazy.
It's crazy,
yeah, like,
but Kaldor's
I guess,
so
like,
absurd. I love it.
yeah, like, you know, I can rationalize why this happens. Like, he is the demon hunter demon. You know Mortarion's true name. He has all this anti-demon gear. I don't have that problem. You know, if this was like Calgar who did it, I'd like, hold the fuck on. Wait a minute, Calgar. But Drago, different character. Psychic powers, you know, all the nine.
Yeah, and they were doing a ritual to fuck with him beforehand. So that kind of like adds a little credibility. Like they were planned.
Yeah. Pretty wild story though. Because it kind of. What else can you do to demon Primarchs? You can just do some kind of crazy things with them, I guess. What else can we tattoo on them? Draw dicks on them?
That's all we're doing is we're just carving massive penises on their foreheads.
Yeah, a bunch of fucking dickheads.
And that's actually how you get promoted in the Grey Knights. It's just the size that you've carved.
Yeah, and after you've carved enough dicks, then you can finally carve all these small letters on their shoulder guards and their shin. So
Yeah,
that's why Mortarion's got the rebreather. It's to cover up the dicks Kaldor drew right next to his mouth.
Oh, right in there.
Just one each side.
Fuck.
Do we think he went to the extent of doing little like droplets as well? Does he have that finesse for the
Oh
sword?
yeah.
Spray.
Fucking hell. Yeah, look at that guy. He spares no expense. For sure.
No.
There isn't
He-
much detail.
To me, he clearly listens to like an alpha man podcast as well.
Yeah.
Hi, T Grey Knight podcast. You're tuned in.
Dude.
Radioactive.
Oh man. I would listen. I'd fucking listen. Cool. Well, let's move forward and go into what the Death Guard looked like. Move out of their history.
Yeah, so they don't all have penises carved around their mouths. So since the fall of the Horus Heresy, the Death Guard have borne the colours of their damnation. Their armour is sickly, diseased flesh, its surface obscured beneath rust, verdigris, filth, and the slow corrosion of centuries. The tri-lobed rune of Nurgle and the sigil of plague fly, sigil of the plague fly, I can talk, I swear, mark them as servants of the god of plagues. The helmet of their plague armor retained the grim aspect of ancient gas masks, a lingering echo of the poison mists that once choked Mortarion's homeworld of Barbarous. Beneath them, the legionnaires are swollen with corruption. Boils, sores, and open wounds cover their body, while more profoundly altered bear tentacles, insectile features, or the single horn so often associated with the servants of Nurgle. Mortarion himself remains the clearest symbol of this morbid inheritance. Pale, hooded, and armed with a great scythe, he resembles the ancient image of death given form. The plague companies and the countless warbands that have broken away from the Legion, the same signs endure. Their heraldry speaks of disease. Their armor carries the weight of decay, though individual vectoriums, there we go, I was about to say something very different, maintain their own foul panoplies. The Death Guard continue to march beneath the same grim colours. Leprous green, tarnished brass, and the symbols of contagion. Wherever they go, corruption follows. This, I still love the fact, ever since the Mortarion days, the inevitability of him becoming a servant of the before he
True.
Yeah.
and I dropped out. Apologies for that. So yeah, just going back. So Mortarion, before he meets the Emperor, he chooses a scythe. It's that inevitability of he's going to death.
Yeah.
It's a really cool point they bring up in Lords of Silence about how they don't travel to apostles to get yelled at. They're not drilling or doing like practice cages. They're just hanging out in their rooms, like digging in their belly button, checking themselves for what new changes have happened to their body since the last fight.
What a life. What a life that is. Oh, man. They got some wild models, though. You just look at these models and like, stomachs hanging out, intestines, horns growing where they shouldn't. Their faces all mutated and warped.
I love their models so much.
Yeah, they're also this guy here, like this Lord of Poxes, I think maybe he is.
Yes.
I think he's one of the coolest models in all of 40k. Like that pose, like I don't know, he's just so fucking gangster.
I can't complain about Games Workshop for at least another year, because I was furious with this model because they released it only in a combat patrol. And that's the only way you can get it.
Oh, those sickos.
And then, right? But pretty recently, they just released him as an individual box after I fucking bought it for double the price on eBay.
GW! Fuck, okay.
It's worth it, though. I love that model.
Yeah, fucking worth it, but jeez. Yeah, all their models are so great. Yeah, from like the little insect bits where sometimes, you get these weird like fuzzy fly arms coming off of them and stuff. Yeah, just really perfect.
They're a lot like orcs, where they're so just fucked up and gnarly that it's really easy to kit bash and play with poses. It's hard to fuck these models up.
I suppose they. Yeah, you clip a little too deep and dent off the power armor. Perfect.
More battle damage.
Yeah, perfect. Very cool.
All right. After the Legion was reunited with Mortarion before the Horus Heresy, the newly named Death Guard adopted a green skull set within a sunburst as a badge. That's the next tattoo I want to get. Following the Heresy and their surrender to Nurgle, the Legion abandoned any single fixed heraldic identity. Across the millennia, the Death Guard have instead carried countless variations of the Plague God's mark, or corrupted forms of their original badge, each proclaiming the same unbroken allegiance to decay. Which always made sense to me. Like, how are you going to have your Legion chapter markings on your armor when you're sprouting horns and mold everywhere?
Yeah. Very cool symbol. Yeah, that symbol.
Maybe I'll get that tattoo too.
All right. The Gene Seed. Might as well. Where are we getting it? Left butt cheek, right on the center? What are we doing?
Right on the tip of my dick.
Right on the tip, okay. The most contagious part about him, okay. Gene Seed. The Death Guard Legionnaires always bore the gaunt, shadowed aspect of the Primarch, a grim reflection of the stoicism bred into them. The original Terran stock possessed a cold, enduring temperament and gene-crafted resilience inherited from the Ironside warriors of Old Albia. When the League absorbed the feral people of Barbarous, its gene seed magnified their already formidable resistance to contagion and toxins to unnatural extremes. The same resilience would become the instrument of their damnation. The plague that corrupted the Legion changed more than their bodies. As plague marines, the once gaunt warriors became bloated and diseased, their armor and flesh swollen with boils, sores, and wounds that never fully healed. Filth crusted their bodies in shades of brown and green, while corruption seeped endlessly from ruin and flesh. Unlike the capricious mutations favored by Chinch, Nurgle's gifts were usually more restrained. Yet, even his chosen could be reshaped into things barely recognizable as human, their faces replaced by insectile forms, tentacles, and other grim manifestations of decay. Yeah, so their gene seed's actually surprisingly intact despite all this. They do still have all of their gene enhancements, like all 20 of them or whatever there is, 18. Like they can spit acid still, they can still go into like the deep coma wounded. They still have all that. It just all gets so heavily mutated, and like, you know, you get all these extra little bonuses and boons as well.
That's what I was gonna say. Do you guys think they still have access to stuff like that, or Nurgle's mutations kind of like force them out of the way, replace them?
Yeah, when I was like trying to do the research and answer that, like that's what it seemed like. That's what everyone was leaning towards. Like, yeah, they haven't lost anything. It's still a very, because it's so reliable and it doesn't like when it mutates, it's fine, I guess. Maybe if we give a second, I can pull up from Fantasy Fight Games. They had like these cool like gene seed conversion things. I'll find them.
All right. Well, I've got a counterpoint while you're looking for that.
Yeah.
What's the trilogy? In Dark Imperium, the Ultramarines and Guilliman bomb the Plague Marines with, I think they're called like psych out missiles, where they're basically bombs that contain blanks. And Death Guard that are near the radius, not caught in the explosion, but nearby. Let me see. I got the quote. Steeped in the power of their diabolical god, the effect on the Plague Marines was far greater. They moaned and fell down, some stone dead. Others shrieked as if the horror of their condition had suddenly become plain to them. So I like that, but it also makes me wonder, are they even alive anymore? It almost makes them sound like they're already dead or on the verge of death, and they're just being animated by Nurgle's favor.
Yeah. Yeah, like there's this weird thing about humans and most creatures, like we're made up of a bunch of different organisms. Like if you know about like gut bacteria and stuff like that, and how much just your gut bacteria can affect like how you think and react to things and all this kind of stuff. And it's just your gut bacteria. It's not even you. So then, yeah, if you amplify that concept, so like your whole body is just all these different organisms and things, like the you that is left is probably not even there, or it's so like minuscule, repressed that like all these other different weird, like you almost want to say personalities, but it's not quite, but like these other effects do happen.
Yeah.
It reminds me of zombie ant fungus.
Yeah, that's a good one.
So it's a literal fungus that takes control of an ant, eats it from the inside out, but it does control it as well, which is weird.
Yeah, let's see if I can pull up a picture of that.
I just love the irony of it, because they are, especially compared to some of the other Chaos Legions, the Death Guard are slaves.
Yeah.
They don't even exist without their Chaos God's permission.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
funnily
that's
enough,
crazy.
it looks like a single horn as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Nurgle.
Do-do-do-do. Nurgle confirmed.
Yeah.
July 2026.
Crazy. Yeah. So it's like that thing's still alive, but like not really. Is it dead at this point? Do we know?
Yeah, so they're dead.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
basically, it's a British show called QI. From memory, if memory serves properly, basically the fungus contracts the muscles
Oh,
of this already dead ant. It's
The point
bizarre.
where it can like move it and walk it and
Yeah.
ay, ay, ay. Yeah,
So I'm
that's the
fairly
most
certain
nerdly
what it
shit
does,
ever.
it infects it, kills it, takes control, so it tries to get it back to the colony to then infect more.
Yeah. Okay.
fuck that. It makes it sound like the fungus is sentient, and I hate that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It almost sounds like the next stage is just becoming an orc.
Popping out of the ant farm.
Well, that's not that bad.
It's when you start seeing purple ants and yellow ants. They're all painted different colors.
I tried to find that like gene seed purity table that Fantasy Fight Games made, but it's only for the loyalists, so I couldn't find one for chaos.
That makes sense.
But they had like a bunch of like this is how likely it is to actually get corrupted, or this the gene seed. They had all these like this crazy gene seed breakdown, but they don't do for chaos.
Yeah, because realistically, by 40k, the gene seed for the loyalist is probably all the gene seed in the Chaos Legions at this point.
Yeah.
So,
Cool.
So
All right, boys.
moving on to the Plague Planet. So within the Eye of Terror, Mortarion has made his home upon the demon world known as the Plague Planet. Very imaginative name there, Mortarion. It resembles a corrupted echo of ancient Barbarous, its landscapes drowned in foul vapors, rotting forests, and diseased swamps where barbarian tribes struggle to endure beneath poisoned skies. Worm-eaten mountains rise through the churning clouds. Their slopes are haunted by plague-ridden creatures that should be dead, yet continue to hunt the living. Atop the highest peaks, the Death Guard maintain their fortress, repeating the rule of the Carrion Lords Mortarion once sought to destroy. The irony is not lost upon them. They have become the despots they once hated. The clouds of contagion surrounding these rusting strongholds are lethal to all but the Death Guard. Alongside the orbital batteries crowning every major peak, the poisonous atmosphere itself has destroyed invading armies. Just the fact they don't really need the orbital batteries, just the atmosphere. That's all we need.
Okay.
There's enough
You shoot a
farts
missile
on
into
this
the
planet.
atmosphere, it just like collapses or it like explodes on impact, like it hits a
Yeah.
wall.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's mad. Right. Across the Plague Planet stands shrines to Nurgle, plague factories, alchemical shield generators, and immense biomechanical fortress is. Mortal inhabitants survive in scattered settlements, serving the Death Guard while their masters rule from citadels above. 7 great mountain-top keeps dominate the world, each belonging to one of the Death Guard's plague companies. The greatest is the Black Manse, Mortarion's personal fortress, which spans the planet's 3 highest peaks. Within its dungeons and laboratories, the most terrible works of the Death Guard are concealed. He doesn't just need 1 peak. He needs 3.
Yeah.
Oh, it gets stupider. His Black Manse is like a rotten, warped reflection of the Imperial Palace. That is specifically, all of its dimensions are 7 inches bigger than its Imperial counterpart.
Gotcha, Emperor. like the whole siege of Terra. He's like, ha ha ha. Soon I'm going to break into their blueprint room and get the blueprints for this place.
Everyone else is
Where did
fighting
he
and he's in
get
the
this?
back with the tape measure.
Yeah, it's with the tape measure. Yeah. Excellent.
It's where someone actually misread it and they're just playing it off. Yeah. Meant to do that all the way. Meant all
All the way.
It was going to be the nice birthday surprise for you, Morty.
Yeah, no, we planned those 7 mountaintops too. Yeah, no, for sure. All of it. Yeah. Very, very shitty place to live. I can't believe mortals actually live on this place and then somehow like survive long enough to like then get abducted by space marines. Like, it's a great place to live. Great place to raise children.
I mean, just imagine it as well. Not only to be mortal surviving these conditions, and not then to be just stolen by space marines, but these space marines of all of them. But what amazes me is the irony isn't lost on them. They're aware of what they've done and what they've become.
Unlimited hope.
Yeah, it's just slightly worrying. Like, do you think every now and again one of them just has a breakdown, walks outside for a cigarette, and just ponders life?
The old Ben Affleck meme, just like, what is this? It's okay, man. I'll just smoke this and get back to it, I guess. Fuck.
All right, that raises a question I've got for you guys after this. Recruitment. The Death Guard draw recruits from across the Plague Planet and the worlds that fall beneath their guns. The mortal tribes of Barbarous are required to offer up their strongest warriors, while conquered populations are searched for those who have endured the worst that disease, poison, and war can inflict. Some are claimed as tribute. Others are taken from battlefields or dragged from the ruins of worlds brought low by plague. To the Death Guard, survival is the only qualification that matters. A warrior who has endured what should have killed him has already proven himself worthy of further testing. Those chosen are brought before the plague companies and subjected to trials designed to strip away weakness. They fight, starve, endure sickness, and are exposed to toxins that would kill ordinary men. Some are forced to battle one another, while others are simply abandoned within the poisonous wilderness of the Plague Planet and left to return alive. The trials are not intended to create heroes. They exist to determine which candidates possess the stubbornness to continue moving when their bodies have already begun to fail. Most die before they even receive the gene seed of the Death Guard. Those who survive the trials are taken into the Legion through the ancient rites of implantation. Even then, survival is not assured. Shocker. The transformation into a plague marine is a final ordeal of pain, disease, and death, endured beneath the uncaring gaze of the Death Guard. Those who emerge are no longer mortal warriors, but new vessels for the Legion's endless war. Their names, tribes, and former lives are discarded. What remains is a plague marine, hardened by suffering and prepared to carry the contagion of the Death Guard into the galaxy. All right, boys, what do you think about the idea of mortal people existing or even being born on a demon planet?
It's a tough one for sure.
Surely if they serve a purpose. But if they're serving the purpose of Nurgle, they're fulfilling a role within Nurgle's plan.
Yeah, like they make sense in the sense of like logistics and how they exist in the Legion. But at least for me personally, I always got tripped up over if you're born on a demon world, are you even human when you're living on when you're born to a planet that's corrupted by the warp and demons?
Or are they just farming humans?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's maybe a fun way to look at it, where it's like, you definitely don't ever want to see like a thriving civilization on a demon planet, you know, like that can't ever happen. We can't have nice things there. But I do like that aspect of like, they are using these people more as like cattle, you know, like either they eat them, either they recruit them, but like the Space Marines are doing some level of maintaining them to make sure that they don't just die out to the planet itself. And like it's I feel like that's the only way it could really work. Like, how else do you keep them alive?
To me, it makes me think of like a petri dish of a disease, a culture. So you're keeping that culture alive just in case you need it.
Okay,
Like somewhere there will be some military laboratory that has anthrax in there in a little petri dish, just in case.
Just in case.
But then also there's the other side. We spoke about the laboratories under the various fortresses. They're going to be using the mortals as guinea pigs. Let's see what this plague does. See if it's effective.
Oof.
And there's a lot of them too.
Yeah.
They get described as being like lines of supplicants, half a continent long, are in like these processional halls waiting for Mortarion, seers and ambassadors, beastmen with carts of like rotten fruit.
I love how grand that is. The continent long lineup. God damn, I thought the lineup in a Walmart was long sometimes. Nothing like that.
And does that mean potentially there are plague marines that could, in theory, be beastmen because they're all rotten anyway? Doesn't matter if they're human. I suppose the gene seed, they do need to be a human being.
Yeah, but like, man, the Death Guard are the one where I'm like, but you could maybe make an exception. Like maybe the gene seed is mutated just that right amount that it does allow beastmen. Or female, for that matter. Fuck.
No, now you're just being silly.
Okay, sorry.
You're just being silly. Come on.
I'll let myself out.
This is a serious podcast for serious people, and then you ruin it. I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed.
Humans, beastmen, Xenos, no women or Primaris. That's where they draw the line.
No women. Yeah. Primaris. Listen, we're dirty enough already. We don't need that primary shit in here. Oh, man. Yeah, no, that is an interesting thought, though. Like, yeah, maybe Xenos is taking it a little bit too far, but also tell that to Nurgle's diseases, you know?
Yep. It doesn't make sense until you look over and see the Plague Marine who's literally a fly.
Yeah, not even this guy. The fly on his shoulder that used to be the Plague Marine, yeah.
Yeah.
Even one of these skulls on his hip technically is a Death Guard guy that's alive. This is the only way he can see that.
All three skulls are one Plague Marine. It's his buddy.
Yeah. Exactly.
So just a thought we say about like the Primaris gene stuff, and then the definitely not accidental 7 inches. Do you think Mortarion is going to come up with like Septarian Marines or something?
Yes.
Septarius Marines. Yeah. Look at me.
Oh yeah, you guys are 8 feet tall. Mine are 8 foot 7 inches. Ha! Gotcha.
Where's 1 through 6, Mortarion? What? Who said that? Anyway, guys, my 7th new Marines.
Oh man. All right, well, the combat doctrine of these guys. Unless we have anything else about that kind of recruitment concept. Yeah, I don't know. Let's get it on paper. Yes and no. Beastmen, Death Guard, yes and no.
I'm on Lorehammer right now, so what I say is canon, and I'm going with yes. Beastmen can be Plague Marines. I'm making that next model right now.
Okay. I feel like they need to have like at least tuberculosis before they join.
Okay. We can probably make that happen, I think. We just have to write it in the lore, so it's not that complicated. But yeah, we'll make it happen.
I'll email GW later or send him a letter.
Excellent. All right, their combat doctrine. The Death Guard were amongst the most remorseless and feared of the Space Marine legions. Their terror did not come solely from their weapons or battlefield strength, but from their willingness to accept any loss and endure any suffering in pursuit of victory. Few foes could match an enemy that simply refused to stop. Though renowned for entrenched and attritional warfare, the Legion possessed formations capable of advancing with concentrated and crushing force. During the Great Crusade, those who fought alongside them named one such formation the Reaping, a heavily reinforced column designed for urban warfare and shattered terrain. It advanced slowly and methodically, destroying everything in its path. Like the scythe from which it took its name, little escaped its passage. After their transformation into the Plague Marines of Nurgle, the Death Guard continued their favored close-range firefights. Their warriors advanced through enemy fire, watching their victims succumb while bolts and las blasts tore into bodies that are no longer responding to pain as mortal flesh did. When the enemy came within striking distance, the Death Guard unleashed blight grenades. Their toxins corroded armor and filled the battlefield with choking clouds of infectious spores. The most grotesque were fashioned from rotting, severed heads of fallen foes. Oh yeah, they stole that from like Lord of the Rings, launching heads with catapults. Turning the dead into one final weapon against the living. Yeah, very cool. They kind of just advance slowly and shoot you down. They're not big on close combat. They definitely will do it, but like they're not running after you. They might hobble after you and catch you, but you know.
I feel like they just want to get close just for the toxins and the contagion. I can't be bothered to like physically fight you. I'm just gonna let you rot.
Yeah, they're like, where's that social distancing rule? 6 feet? Okay, I'm going to 5 feet. I'm gonna stand there. And that's what they do.
7 inches. That's
7 inches away. Not touching, can't get mad. Yeah.
Before I got into the books, all 5 of them, that's what got me into the Death Guard in the first place. That mental image of them just walking through like torrents of fire and shrugging it off, wheezing and bubbling. It's so cool. Like a bolt shell hitting their chest and just the pus spraying out and they don't even notice and keep walking through it.
Yeah. One guy's like dragging himself behind because his limbs have been blasted off. So he's just like crawling, but like just relentless.
Yeah, his fucked up face grinning at you while he drags half a leg.
Yeah.
And just the fact that they're just marching forward. They're throwing blight grenades. They're probably not even using their bolters at this point. If they're fighting a guard army, some poor guard regiment, they're just marching forward, letting the plague do its will, letting the toxins corrode all of their armor, and just, they're not even firing bolter rounds at this point.
Yeah. Just sit in that sewer and play with your belly button.
They kind of operate the way you might assume that Space Marines would operate in general. Like, knowing the lore, all the chapters have different specializations.
Yeah.
But just looking at, like, the scale of what a Space Marine is, on a lot of compliances, I kind of imagine they would just be walking through the rabble, like, taking bullets and getting the job done.
Yeah.
So it's scary to see Chaos Marines doing that to other Space Marines, just walking through their fire like they do to mortals.
Yeah. So their beliefs. Before the Horus Heresy, the beliefs of the Death Guard reflected the iron will of Mortarion. Humanity, they believed, could only be freed from oppression and terror by destroying those who sought to enslave and consume it. Such liberation demanded endurance without limit. No hardship was too great, and no means too terrible if they brought mankind closer to freedom. That conviction hardened into pride. The Death Guard placed absolute faith in their strength and resilience, developing contempt for those they judged weak. When Nurgle's rot brought the Legion low during its imprisonment in the Warp, that pride was exposed for what it was. Their vaunted endurance had failed them. Their surrender to Nurgle left behind a deep well of hatred and despair. The Death Guard now seek to spread their ruin across the galaxy, infecting the strong, destroying the weak, and dragging all life toward decay. Their own debasement no longer seems so shameful when the entire galaxy is forced to share it. If everything is reduced to rot, then nothing remains above them to judge their fall. It goes hard, that section.
Okay. That does, yeah. Okay, so that's how they feel about their own hypocrisy. Instead of just being better, they're like, nah, we'll make you worse.
Yeah. And I suppose it pulls into the irony as well of, in every possible opportunity, they're trying to place themselves above. in complete conflict of this liberation idea. But actually, they're now trying to rot everything to get everything lower because they can't step above. They can't take the moral high ground. So let's just reduce everything to a pile of sludge.
Exactly.
Genius.
Crabs in a bucket. I wanted to ask real quick because I got hard reading this when I was getting ready. Their debasement no longer seems so shameful when the entire galaxy is forced to share it. Is that a line from somewhere, or did you write that? Because I stole it.
That would be old Chatty Bot
Oh,
giving you something. So maybe that did come from somewhere specifically, but yeah, it goes hard, that one.
dude, I stole that and put it down in my homebrew like folder.
Hell yeah.
And that's mine now.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Chatbot's sweet, man. I've read so much from there. Like, I don't ever read books, but man, it'd be cool to go on like Chatbot and like, how much have I actually read? Like hundreds of pages of Lorehammer notes I've written with that fucking thing, you know? Like, how many books does that actually equate to? Can I say I can read now? Is that possible or not quite yet? I can assisted read.
You've probably written like the word count of the Horus Heresy at this point.
In close. Yeah. I just have nubs for my fingers. It's all right, though.
It's all right. That's a servitorization I'll take care of.
Yeah. Yeah, that line is sweet. Their own debasement no longer seems so shameful when the entire galaxy is forced to share it. Yeah, that's just like the ideology of Nurgle. Like, yeah, we'll share our glorious flesh rot with you. We're all going to be happy together under Father Nurgle's blessing. Like, meanwhile, you're all just like fucking rotted out. Just like, ah! Meanwhile, you look like this guy on the screen in the bottom middle. Yeah, he's happy, but fuck, he's not going to raid anytime soon.
That always seemed like the worst one to get, the stomach mouth. If I could get any blessing, that would be the last one I take.
Yeah.
All right, boys. Cult of Personality. Mortarion's arrival transformed the Death Guard, intensifying traits that had already existed within the Legion while erasing others. His intelligence, organizational discipline, and ability to inspire absolute loyalty among the Barbaran-born warriors created a devotion rarely seen among the Legionis Astartes. By the time of the Horus Heresy, the loyalty of much of the Legion had shifted from the Emperor to Mortarion, then to the Death Guard itself, with Horus following behind. When the moment of rebellion came, many were willing to abandon their oaths without hesitation and follow their Primarch into damnation. 10,000 years later, that devotion remains the foundation of the Death Guard's identity. Their loyalty is not to any ideal of humanity or empire, but to Mortarion, the Legion, and the ruin they have chosen to carry across the galaxy.
Yeah. They went the old double down route, for sure. Like, no, you guys are wrong. Like, no. We just haven't done it enough yet.
You guys will see. Once we get to 14, this will all start making sense.
Now then it all makes sense. The number 7 is another belief they have, as we joked about. Mortarion reorganized the Death Guard into 7 great companies. And this is in M41, I believe, when he does this. Elevating the number to the position of lasting importance within the Legion. Each was theoretically intended to contain roughly 70,000 Astartes, creating an imagined Legion strength of almost 500,000 warriors, 490,000 warriors. The Death Guard never approached that number. War, attrition, and the limitations of time and Imperial resources ensured that Mortarion's vision remained unrealized. Yet the number endured. 7 became woven into the Legion structure, traditions, and symbolism, surviving the Horus Heresy and continuing into the millennia of decay that followed. To the Death Guard, it is more than a number. It is an echo of Mortarion's ambition, preserved long after the Legion itself became something far darker.
Sounds like something a witch would do.
Yeah, dirty witch, numerology type folk. Yeah, this is. You ever see the movie The Number 23 with Jim Carrey?
I've heard the stories about it.
Yeah, great movie. Basically goes crazy and starts writing 23 on walls. I think that's Mortarion. We could do a little AI face swap of that, and the story might work out the same. Like it.
Hey, 7, 14, 20, 21. Never mind. I dropped out of school, guys. I don't know math. I thought that was a multiplication of 7.
Fuck math.
But if you take 7 from 30, you get to 23.
Oh,
I
like
yeah.
numerology.
I'm just
Now
throwing
we're
a
talking.
random number out there to get the result.
Yes.
It's fine.
Yes.
I get
I like
Mortarion.
that.
If you start with whatever number you want, any number can fall under the 7 and 3 rule.
Also, just going
Excellent.
back to like, if you double down enough, it makes it sort of true. When you look at sort of historical theology, the ultimate liberation is death, because you go to heaven or you go to potentially hell. But so if you embrace the Father's gift, you're liberated because you're in heaven.
Nice.
If you look at it the wrong way, granted you're in hell, but
just don't look down. I think
exactly.
Don't.
Exactly, because then you'll just see the puddle of what used to be your body.
Oh, good thing I'm wearing this power armor to contain my liquid body.
My soup.
I was going to
My
say, do you
soup
think
body.
they just slush as they walk? like a pair of rubber boots filled with custard.
Yeah. Fucking hell.
That's
Yeah,
a
I
poop
think
boot.
they do.
There we go.
God.
So now, whenever I play a Death Guard army, I'm going to have some sound effects.
Yeah.
Whenever in the movement phase, it's just that playing over and over.
It's way better than the fart sound effects they normally bring themselves. But yeah,
they're not sound effects, Mark.
No.
Players.
Let me have my ignorance, please.
I'm just imagining SpongeBob's squeaky shoes now as a plague marine walks across the field.
Surely that's Alpha Legion squeaky shoes, but they're like doing the cartoon bad guy sneak.
Yeah.
So battle damage. The Death Guard have never placed great value in rank, insignia, medals, or ceremonial honors. Their armor is their record, and every scar upon it is considered more meaningful than any badge of achievement. Damage caused by enemy weapons, toxic environments, and the countless wars of the Long War is left in place so long as the armor remains functional. Rust, corrosion, dents, and scars accumulate across their warplate, transforming every plague marine into a monument of to endurance. Even after 10,000 years of corruption, this tradition remains. The Death Guard do not conceal the damage inflicted upon them. They wear it openly as proof that the enemy may wound them, poison them, and bury them beneath ruin, but cannot make them stop. And that's got some real world sort of similarities. You see a lot of photos from time in Memoriam of soldiers holding up a helmet with a hole through it, or a tank with a massive shell impact, or a track's been blown off and you've got the crew stood in front just like posing like, yeah, we're all right. So it's kind of got a bit of similarities in the real world, and it's a very British thing. Stiff upper lip. There are photos from World War II London, and there are people in a bombed out house just having a cup of tea.
Delicious.
That's badass.
Yeah, because why not?
My last Airbnb guests were from England. And they brought a bunch of English tea with them, and they left me some. And they were so happy. They were so happy to share their tea with me. It was the funniest fucking thing. I'm like, you traveled around the world and you brought your tea with you? It was
and that's how you build empires, Mark.
I was about to
That's
say,
how you
you
build
never learned.
Now I'm addicted to tea. Fuck.
It's the best thing in the world. Hot summer's day, a nice cup of, I'm going to probably anger some people here, so just have Lawhammer legal on the line. Yorkshire tea is the only tea bag that you can use legally. So a nice hot Yorkshire tea, little dash of milk, no sugar because I'm sweet enough as it is. Can't beat it. Can't beat it.
That's so funny. They pulled out this picture here, the shades of tea, and they're like, "Okay, what are you drinking here? And if you answer anything other than for E5, you're a piece of shit." And I'm like, "Oh God, mine's like a 2B."
Damn, this is serious.
Oh yeah,
this is fucking serious, man.
Yep. So I always say I have my tea how I have my women. Strong and bitter.
Yeah. Oh, so you're going the F6 route, are you?
Not quite
Nice.
that. I have a little dash of milk. So I'm
Uh,
probably around about probably D4, I think, or E4.
Okay. Yeah, okay. So if we're doing that, I like my tea like I like my women, white and creamy. A1.
See, I don't even drink tea, but I like my women F6.
Oh god. Yeah.
That's my ideal.
You
That way when
sunk my
it starts
battleship.
outside, you don't see them. I like it. There's also this one, just since we're on this tangent, shades of toast is also a great way to piss people off. What toast are you?
I mean, either extremities aren't toast. One is a pile of ashes and one is bread.
Yeah. Okay, maybe this is a little more reasonable. Fucking hell. I do love that somebody took time to teach me all about the different types of toast shades. The more you know. And one day I can teach my daughter that, you know?
We didn't even check out the number 7 column of either of those.
Fuck, we're getting kicked out of the Legion, man.
Oh god, yeah, fuck.
It's all right. There's 3 of us. It's one of the big numbers. It'll look good on us.
Okay, perfect. We're fine. We're safe.
The Cups. Among the Death Guard, recognition has never been freely given. Mortarion understood that even warriors who despised praise still needed to know that their endurance had been seen. After great battles, he would occasionally select a warrior and invite him to share one of his infamous cups. The drink was a lethal mixture of toxins, venoms, and contagions, prepared to test the resistance of the Death Guard had spent their lives cultivating. To refuse was unthinkable. The chosen warrior would drink beside his Primarch, and if he survived, would prove the strength of the Legion before his brothers. The tradition has long since passed into legend, but its meaning endured. Among the Death Guard, honor is not granted through medals or ceremony. It is earned through suffering, witnessed by those who understand that survival is the only praise that truly matters.
Wait, did you say lethal? like Death Guard's like
even lethal for them.
Yeah. Come on, there has to be another way. Can't I just smell your armpit or something, Morty? Oh, okay.
So, with Mortarion hanging out on the Plague Planet, this is one of those things where it's like, it's just such a small detail. You'd pray it gets mentioned in a book one day. But I like to imagine the cups with Mortarion don't happen much, unless obviously he's there on the campaign. But I like to pretend that, like, the ritual or symbolism of the cups is still a tradition with, like, Chaos Lords and Chaos Champions. It might not be the exact same thing, but they'd bring up, like, their chosen champion or someone who performed great in the campaign and drink a draught with them.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, that sort of honorific ceremony rather than.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, brain fart gone. Okay. Nope, not coming to me. Okay, well, I guess the cups, yeah, pretty cool. So they don't do it that often, but you like to think they do. All right. I like it. It's a fun little tradition for sure. And like the Death Guard guys and like Nurgle people, they're always like showing off their most like famous like poison or like, look at this new boil I got. Like they want to share with you. So it's a cool little tradition to share. Let's go into the organization now. After the Great Scouring, the Death Guard became increasingly divided. Though the Legion still maintained its sacred devotion to the number 7, much of its formal structure decayed into smaller warbands. The few vehicles that remained were rarely maintained in any conventional sense, instead sustained by demonic possession, swarms of Nurglings, or the corrupted energies of the Plague God. This fragmentation endured for millennia, yet with Mortarion's return to active leadership after the formation of the Great Rift, a greater measure of order returned to the Legion. In the era Indomitus, the Death Guard stand amongst the most coherent and organized of the surviving trade legions. Mortarion remains a traditionalist, and the structure he has imposed upon his sons still echo echoes the vast legions of the heresy. Through every level of command remains bound to the sacred number 7. The Death Guard are divided into 7 great plague companies, each numbering thousands of plague marines, supported by corrupted auxiliaries, armored formations, demon engines, and other servants of Nurgle. Each plague company is further divided into 7 sepsis cohorts, each numbering roughly 700 plague marines. These are divided again into 2 maledictums, which are formidable fighting forces in their own right. Each maledictum is composed of 7 colonies. A colony typically consists of 7 squads of 7 legionnaires, commanded by a powerful Death Guard lord or supported by champions, vehicles, demons, and demon engines. The first colony of the maledictum often serves as the elite formation of the Blightlord Terminators. This structure is powerful in theory, but the Death Guard remain a traitor legion. Across the galaxy, its forces are scattered among countless war zones and divided by the ambitions of lords and champions. These independent formations are known as vectoriums. Some are drawn from a single plague company, while others are assembled from warriors of widely different origins. Vectoriums are that endure long enough to often develop their own names, colors, and identities. Their composition varies according to the will of their leaders. Plague colonies field conventional plague marines, destroyer colonies specialize in alchemical weapons, and reaper colonies advance within armored transports. Beneath Mortarion's grand design, the Death Guard remain what they have always been, a legion held together by disease, devotion, and the stubborn refusal to die. So that's a little bit more. We'll learn more about the maledictums and sepsis and all that as we go a little bit more, but that's kind of your grand overview. Very easy to remember. You got your big companies, your plague companies of 7,000 guys, and then just kind of goes down in 7.
I do like that there's the one, just like, there's 2 of these, because we kind of need the maths to work.
Math has to math, yeah.
But I think your idea over the number 23 and the similarities are becoming more and more apparent. It's just Mortarion writing 7 on everything. Just we need reinforcements. 7. Just, that's it. It's up to the other, the captains, the Chaos Lords, have to interpret the scale of that 7.
And it makes their organization so bizarre because it could be so simple, but it has to accommodate for branching everything off into equal 7s.
Yeah, here we go. There we go. We got all straight up. You can do it, Morty. You can figure out the math. Maybe if you throw in like the direction the pyramids face or something, they have numbers or something that they're always trying to throw in.
Always the pyramids, when in doubt.
Yeah.
The numbers, Mortarion. What do they mean?
So the order of battle, how do we make those 7s and 7s work? Mortarion's traditionalism has ensured that the Death Guard of the late 41st millennium still follows a structure recognizable from the Age of the Heresy. The Legion is divided into 7 plague companies, each ruling from its own mountain fortress upon the plague planet under the command of a Lord Commander. Each company is a vast force of thousands of warriors, supported by fleets, aircraft, tanks, demon engines, and super heavy war machines, making them greater than many Space Marine chapters. Every plague company is divided into sepsis cohorts, each numbering roughly 700 Marines. These are divided into 2 maledictums, each containing 7 colonies, which are themselves divided into 7 squads. The structure is rigid, repetitive, and deliberate. Across 10,000 years of war, the Death Guard have allowed little to change. Their formations endure as their warriors do, slowly decaying, but never truly breaking. It kind of makes sense from a logistical perspective as well. If you've been doing this for 10,000 years, let's just stick to what we know.
True. But what a fucking child, dude.
Oh yeah, big
I'm
time.
gonna sit in my manse that's 7 inches taller than my dad's, and I'm on top of the mountain, and all my friends also have their own mountains, and they're up there too.
I don't know why, but I just got a slight Napoleon Dynamite feel about it. You know, he's got some like weird rotten beast man that he calls Tina. There's just something about it. It's everyone has to have everything. Everything has to be bigger and better. It really is this superiority complex or inferiority complex that he's got going.
God, Jagged Eye, you're on the wrong side.
He just turns up to the Siege of Terror with a salad. Just
Tater tots in his pocket. All right, we got the plague companies. We got first plague company, the Harbingers. The first plague company is commanded by Typhus, and its warriors are known as the Harbingers. Their ranks carry countless strains of the zombie plague, each one a different expression of Nurgle's generosity. Shamble-rot, the Groaning, and Biter's Pox are among the most infamous. Wherever the Harbingers march, the dead do not remain still for long. Second plague company, the Ferric Blight. The second company wages war from behind immense armored formations. Its warriors favor mechanized assaults and advance beneath the protection of vast columns of battle tanks. Their armor carries the Ferric Blight, a crawling rust that consumes metal with unnatural speed. What begins upon the Death Guard spreads readily to the machines and weapons of their enemies. So this plague company, I think it's like... Let me see. The Pallid Hand. These guys are the Pallid Hand, and they're the notorious company that infects Necrons with the Ferric Blight, and their bodies go back to the Tomb World and spread it.
Cool. Very cool. Yeah, like ferric is like a type of metal, right?
I think it's like something to do with metal.
Something to do with metal. Yeah. So like that's cool.
Ferrous
Like,
is iron, isn't it?
Yeah. So then like you have this like metal plague that's like eating the living metal. So cool. The next company is the third plague company, Mortarion's Anvil. The third plague company is content to wait behind its defenses while the enemy destroys itself against them. Its warriors bear the glooming bloat, a feverish plague that leaves their armor slick with sweat and their voices reduced to a wet, bubbling sounds. Noxious Blightbringers are common within its ranks. Its commander, Gorthax the Morose, is perpetually accompanied by 70 of these grim bearers, whose bells toll through the grinding sieges and attritional battles favored by the company. Okay, pretty gross. The fourth plague company serves as a gestalt demon known as the Eater of Lives. Its legionnaires carry the Eater Plague, known by many names, including Drizzleflesh, Pockchewer, and the Endless Gift. Their masters favor sorcery and the summoning of demons, ensuring that the company wages war through diseased flesh and the unnatural powers of the warp. Cool. Okay, so these are all fairly different, these companies. It's like they really kind of specialize.
Yeah.
Have their own special little like plague, even.
I'm just sending you something on Discord, Mark, because I think you're gonna love it. Save it for later, though. And I will just say that Drizzleflesh does sound like a lost old English pudding.
Oh yeah,
that's worse than being a disease.
So the fifth plague company, the Poxmongers. The fifth plague company advances alongside diseased demon engines and other corrupted machines of war. Its warriors carry this Sangus Flux, a plague that causes endless bleeding from wounds that never properly clot. Wherever they march, they leave trails of foul red-black blood across the battlefield.
Brutal.
Wow.
The poxmongers. What a name.
Yeah. But see, I find the poxmongers a bit weird because it's not like a boils and pustules and pus. It's just they're just bleeding.
Yeah.
Yeah, bloodborne diseases.
Like the blood letters.
Ah. Yeah,
You know,
yeah. The blood weakers.
Yeah.
I can imagine.
Oh, go on.
Sorry, you go.
No. Before I carry on.
All right. I was imagining like a lot of bloodborne diseases specifically being scary in like trench warfare. Like how much of the mud is made up from disease death guard blood that you're crouching in trying to avoid mortars.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the thing about like the death guard. Like honestly, how would you actually even deal with them? Because like like you said, now you put your head down to avoid getting shot, and now you're just like in rotted mud. There's like maggots crawling up your legs. Like it'd be so fucked. It'd be the worst. It'd be the worst battle, I think, in all of 40K to go against these guys.
And where they've traveled through is just you're not going near it. It's just infected. It's got rotten blood all over it. It's just grim. So the 6th Plague Company, the Ferryman, also known as the Brethren of the Fly, the 6th Plague Company garrisons the Plague fleets and continually expands their armadas with captured and corrupted vessels. Its ranks contain large numbers of Blight Lord Terminators infected with the Droning, a parasite that burrows into both flesh and armor. They are the keepers of the fleet that carry Nurgle's contagion between the stars. So these companies are very specialist, aren't they? So these are the airborne guys. They're the guys for the ships.
These guys are my favorite. They're so fucking cool. Just the concept of Death Guard raiders and pirates is the worst thing you could run into.
And then the 7th Plague Company, Mortarion's chosen sons. The warriors of the 7th Plague Company bear the distinction of being Mortarion's chosen sons. They are plague brewers, alchemists, and creators of the poisons that sustain the Death Guard's endless war. Nurgle has blessed them with the crawling pustulence, also known as boil blight, lumpen splatter, or Nurgle's fruit. Their laboratories and cauldrons produce diseases that are carried from world to world, ensuring that the touch of the plague god continues to spread. Lumpen splatter sounds like a Harry Potter character.
Yeah. That's funny. Is now a good time to pull up that picture you sent me? You know, now that we're talking back and forth.
Go for it.
Okay. Excellent. Okay, let's see what this does. The old copy and paste. It might take me nowhere good. You know what? I don't know how to work the internet in my computer, so I betrayed us all.
I can always put it up in the Imperial Tithe.
You want me to read? Give you a minute to pull it up?
No, it's all good. Yeah, just keep going on. We'll carry on.
All right. The sepsis cohorts. Each plague company is divided into 7 sepsis cohorts, each commanded by a demon prince or death guard lord. These formations are vast armies in their own right, supported by champions of Nurgle and a command bodyguard drawn from plague marines, Blight Lord Terminators, or the dreaded Death Shroud. Their assets can include cruisers, drop pods, gunships, demon engine packs, super heavy detachments, sorcerer covens, summoned demons, tallyman bands, blightbringers, foul blight spawn, and plague surgeons. A sepsis cohort is therefore more than a mass of plague marines. It is a self-contained engine of war, capable of carrying the Death Guard's corruption from the void to the battlefield and sustaining a campaign through disease, armor, sorcery, and attrition.
Cool.
So that's like a company?
Yeah,
I think under the companies.
Yeah, like so there'd be 7 of these in one company. So this would be like 1,000 guys in a sepsis. No, there's 1,000 in a company. So then this would be like 100 guys, I guess. 700 guys. Yeah. I don't fucking know. I need a graph, not words. Give me an image.
I get the words in the context to this, but what is a cohort equivalent in real life? Like, what do companies even get divided into?
So real world. Are we? If we're talking real world, so you'll have squads. So generally speaking, most militaries, it'll be 3 sections into a platoon or a squad if you're speaking in bald eagle or freedom units. So 3 sections to a platoon, 3 platoons to a company. Generally speaking, modern militaries working with a rule of 3. And then, but then you'll have supporting elements around that potentially. So generally stages up like that. So it's a bit weird trying to get your head around this one, especially because it isn't 7 throughout, because there's like 2. But I think I may well be wrong, and quite often am. I think a cohort is around about 700 Marines per cohort.
Of course, it's 700.
Okay.
Yeah, because you've got 7 Legionnaires or Plague Marines per squad, 7 squads per colony. And then 7 colonies per maledictum. I'm going to do a little chart for everyone's benefit.
God damn it,
at some
Mortarion.
point.
Yeah.
Here, I think I've got it written. The last episode. Yeah, this fucking disaster.
Oh, show that up again. I'll.
Let's see.
Oh god. That's some bad. Oh god, he went full number 23.
I was
Yeah,
scrounging
okay.
for 30K info.
Yeah, I love that. That's a sacred treasure. You can pass that book down to your children. It'll be worth something.
Okay, so I've just gone back through the episode because we did say. So a company is into cohorts. Each cohort is roughly 700 Plague Marines.
Okay.
Technically speaking, I've done the maths. It's 686, but there we go.
686. Cool. All right. Then we get broken into maledictums. Each sepsis cohort is divided into 2 maledictums, each commanded by a Death Guard lord and supported by champions of Nurgle. Beneath their command are 7 colonies that form the heart of the maledictum, supported by cultist covens, drone swarms, hellbrute talons, armored detachments, demon engines, super heavy war machines, summoned demons, and countless Nurglings. The maledictum serves as a vast intermediate command, large enough to wage war across multiple fronts while retaining a single unified purpose. Its forces may be scattered across a campaign, but all advance toward the same inevitable conclusion: the reduction of resistance into exhaustion, infection, and ruin. Cool.
Sweet.
It was maledictums from the last episode. That's the one that swaps between codexes, what it actually is. Like a bunch of assholes.
Oh, like a bunch of assholes.
Can you imagine that? Inconsistency from Games Workshop.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
So, colonies. The colony is the fundamental fighting formation of the Death Guard. Each is commanded by a Death Guard lord and organized into 7 squads, forming a compact force capable of independent warfare. Around these core legionnaires gather a full apparatus of Nurgle's armies, Blightbringers and heralds, sorcerers, plague surgeons, tallymen, putrefiers, foul blightspawn, rhinos, legion siege tanks, hellbrutes, bloat drones, blight drones, poxwalkers, cultist auxiliaries, nurglings, and a cloud of plague flies. A colony may be the smallest major formation in the Death Guard's hierarchy, but it is not a small force. It is a complete instrument of war, able to descend upon a world, spread its contagion, and continue fighting long after any ordinary army would have collapsed.
Yeah. Cool. And then we get into a bunch of their special units and all their heroes and all this kind of thing. They have a lot of different little, like, Lord of Poxes, the Biologists. They have a bunch of different little things. And I feel like a lot of the other legions almost retain kind of almost codex fashion. Even if you're like a traitor, you still have like your dark apostles or your chaplains. You still have your sorcerers or your librarians. But like
Squads
the
of
Nurgle guys,
destroyers.
yeah, exactly. There's still a lot of that, but like the Nurgle, they really go their own direction, and there's not a lot of like holdovers with other legion stuff.
Mhm.
And that's because Mortarion wants 7 people doing the exact same role as they would in any other legion.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, specialists. This is the meat of all this. Death Guard Lord. Death Guard Lords are the commanders of the Legion, each having earned authority through centuries of slaughter, corruption, and endurance. Though the Death Guard are devoted to Nurgle, Mortarion's influence still shapes the way they wage war. A Lord is expected to follow the path best suited to his talents, whether that means a direct assault, siegecraft, contagion, or bombardment, and to pursue it without deviation. Over the millennia, these paths have crystallized into the mantles of corruption, each representing a distinct method of war and a different expression of Nurgle's ruin. I don't know what a mantle of corruption is, because they mention in their codex that there's one mantle of corruption that's supposedly extremely dangerous, one of the most destructive ones, and Mortarion simply hasn't given it out yet. And that adds confusion to me, because what do you mean he hasn't given a powerful mantle out yet? Is it not a title or a job description? Like, is it a physical thing? Maybe it's a title with a blessing attached.
Yeah,
Could it
the
be
disease just hasn't manifested yet, or like
could the mantles be different things? So could one mantle be a certain disease, another mantle be a certain mutation?
Another one being some kind of equipment.
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah.
The salamanders do something similar with like their hunt for the relics. Like they call them relics, but they're all so vastly different. One's like a fucking Arc Mechanicum forged ship, and the other one's like, here's your dragon scale cloak. These are not comparable.
I have found the holy relic of dragon scale socks. Oh, great.
Yeah.
Brother Terry died for socks. Guys, we need to talk about this.
Great job on the socks. Go ahead and toss them next to the Gloriana class battleship your battle brother brought back yesterday.
Oh my god, yeah, exactly.
And
no, I like the idea where the mantles are different. Yeah, different little mantles, different things.
All right.
I got an image. Sorry to interrupt. I got an image of this not pulled up, and it's just fucking tight. Yeah. It's Leviathan, but then it's got like this one really long, gangly arm off it. Yeah. It's fucking tight. We're talking about conversions and how like the Nurgles are the orcs of Space Marines, like, and that's a prime example.
Yeah.
Where the fuck did that arm come from?
It's like one of their biggest selling points, honestly, for models.
You can just go hash and just do what you like, go mad. And the more mad you go, generally, the better they look.
Oh, fuck.
The eyes on that are disturbing. They are staring into my soul.
Oh my god. I don't like that its belly button hole is so gaped. I don't like I got
Is it a belly button hole? Is it a belly button hole?
Yeah. Or is it another mouth?
Or is it a poop shooter?
Or both.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Okay, get it off my screen. That's fucking fifth.
I love how he's giving the Legionnaire head pats.
Oh man. Come join the live stream. You can watch videos as we pull up images of Death Guard giving Death Guard head pats. All right, up next we got the Lord of Poxes. I guess I could be pulling up images of the actual models instead of just fucking filthy guys. So this is the Lord of Poxes.
One sec. I skipped over Contagion because I started talking.
Oh,
The
sorry
Lords
about
of Contagion are... You're good. The Lords of Contagion are the most direct and aggressive of the Death Guard's commanders. Encased in ancient cataphracti armor and armed with enormous man reapers or axes, they advance directly into the enemy with little concern for subtlety. Their strategy is simple. Move forward, absorb everything the enemy can unleash, and continue until the opposing force has been destroyed. Like the diseases they embody, Lords of Contagion do not maneuver around resistance. They spread through it. You're muted, Mark.
That's a big model. You put that guy down next to some other Terminators, and he's like thick and like he just has weight to him, he seems. Yeah, very cool. And then we'll do the Lord of Poxes. He wages war through attrition and contamination. They favor airborne plagues, toxic miasmas, and infections that gradually weaken the enemy before decisive assaults begin. Their campaigns are often slow and methodical, with the foe losing strength, morale, and cohesion long before the Death Guard commit themselves fully. By the time the final attack begins, much of the battle has already been won by diseases. Cool. And then the Lord of Virulence? What is this word? How do you say this word?
Yeah, Virulence.
Virulence, okay. He commands the Death Guard's heaviest bombardments. They wage war through concentrated firepower, artillery, and overwhelming volleys that reduce enemy formations before the Legion's advances. Their methods resemble the spread of lethal infection, striking one section of the enemy line after another until the entire formation collapses. To serve beneath the Lord of Virulence is to march behind the advancing wall of explosions, smokes, and contamination. Very cool.
He's basically
Siege master.
an artillery gunner.
Mhm.
With the craziest, weird Lesh cape of all time. Lesh
Like
camera?
I was going to say that's even beyond like Night Lord's level. That
Yeah.
It's a bitch to put on too.
It kind of reminds me of like the new Death Lictors or whatever. Let's pull up a picture here. They kind of have this weird like, oh yeah, this guy. It's not a Lictor. He's got like that weird like skin cape too.
That is weird. Like a skin sash?
Yeah. Do we know what this guy's called?
I don't know. Pass.
Okay.
I don't know Nids all that well. They're just bugs.
Yeah, same here.
Just bug, big bug, even bigger
Stealthy
bug.
bug.
Stealthy bug, shooting bug, tanky bug,
so funny,
brainy bug.
Well, yeah. Whoever did those capes together, they definitely playing off each other. It's such a weird thing.
Do you think someone was looking over at someone else's homework?
Yeah, it kind of feels like that. Like it's so yeah.
The Lord of Contagion.
What is it?
The Lord of
Does it have? Sorry. Does it have tubes coming off of it that then like go into attack and then like go down onto the ground and like leak things?
Yeah, it looks like it. Perhaps it's Tyrannid skin.
It perhaps creepy.
Yeah. So Death Shrouds. The Death Shroud are the chosen guardians and executioners of Mortarion, towering within ancient armor and armed with immense man reapers. They are among the most formidable warriors in the Death Guard. Clouds of plague flies swarm around them as toxic fumes spill from their armor. Yet their true terror lies in their skill. The Death Shroud move with unexpected speed and precision, despite their immense bulk. They are not merely elite warriors. They are the physical authority of Mortarion, and wherever they appear, his will has arrived with them. I think the Death Shroud models are stunning.
Yeah, they're great. It's too bad you have to do some stupid math and like, oh, so there's 7 Death Shrouds and I can only buy them in boxes of 3?
Well, what you need
Guess
to
I'll
do,
buy
you need
3 boxes and throw 2 out. Fuck.
well, no, you need to come together and like have 3 friends or two
Yes.
friends who also play Death Guard.
Yes.
Spread the disease.
Okay.
And this is
Well,
how
that
plague
doesn't seem
starts.
so bad. Just spend more money on Warhammer.
And have more people spend more money.
I'm fucking in. I'm in.
Mortarion would be proud. Just keep doubling down.
Yeah.
The problem will fix itself.
Blight Lord Terminators are the armored veterans of the Death Guard, sealed within corrupted cataphracti warplate that has become almost as diseased as the warriors inside. They advance through the heaviest fire with contempt, their combi weapons plague spewers and blight launchers reducing infantry and armor alike to ruin. Their resilience is a source of immense pride. The more impossible the enemy's firepower, the more eager the Blight Lords advance into it, confident that the Death Guard will still be standing when the guns fall silent. Yeah.
Go. I love anytime they start adding the chainmail.
Yeah.
Not just to Death Guard, but to any Space Marine. It just fucking tight.
Yeah.
The cataphracti plate always gets me. That layered armor on the shoulders just looks incredible every time.
And I really like that the Death Guard seems to have a real like of cataphracti.
Yeah.
It does seem to be very much their flavor.
Yeah. So
it just makes sense for them visually and thematically. Like half their army or half their model range is like in Terminator plate.
Yeah.
Seems that way. Very cool. Yeah, World Eaters don't even have a single Terminator model, and these guys get like 2 heroes, 2 different boxes. Like not even like a box where you buy the 5 Terminators and you can build them one of 2 ways. Like they got Death Shroud and Blight Lords. Like they're different.
Yeah.
Damn, not a single Terminator? That's horrible.
No. Yeah, they have like Lord Zufon from Forge World from like way back in the day, like a 20-year-old model, but
oh, is he that White Dwarf one they redid?
Oh, and then I guess they have that guy too, which is that other old. But like, okay, so you get these 2 random characters that don't even really look Khorne Berserker-y. But anyways, that's neither here nor there.
When Catachans get a refresh, then you can start complaining.
Yeah, okay. I'll see you in 2040. Yeah.
Well, I can complain
you can complain. With kill teams and stuff, maybe we'll get them sooner. Like, that's the perfect little kill team. Nice little
That's true, actually. Kill team's been plugging in all the little gaps for everything I've been complaining about not having.
Yeah, exactly.
And I will say the Death Guard Plague Marine kill team do look wicked.
What does it look like?
It's a nice looking kill team.
I didn't even know they had one. All right, while you're doing that, I'm going to hit Noxious Blightbringer. Noxious Blightbringers march before the Death Guard advance, announcing the Legion's arrival with the tolling of their immense bells. Their toxins of misery do more than spread fear. Their sound carries across the battlefield and into the warp, releasing waves of entropy that weaken the bodies and spirits of those who hear them. Each toll erodes resistance, spreads sickness, and brings the battlefield closer to the domain of Nurgle. The Death Guard do not always need to break the enemy themselves. Sometimes they only need to let the bells continue ringing. I love these guys.
Yeah.
Dreadful in the truest sense of the word.
Yeah, that bell that rings, it just sends waves of entropy that like just weaken your cells, and fucking cool, man.
While you're sitting there huddled in your little fortress, they're standing outside clanging the bells.
Yeah, and you can just like feel it in your bone. Every new clang's like a new agony. We're like, oh, and like it's changing you slowly, and then all of a sudden you're twitching, your eyes are twitching, you're bleeding from the nose from just like the bells of entropy, like fucking crazy.
Grogor, I have a fever, and the only prescription is more plague bell.
Yeah, exactly that.
We got the Death Guard Sorcerer. Death Guard sorcerers wield warp as another vector of disease. Through their powers, they rot flesh, weaken bone, empower their allies, and transform the battlefield into a place of decay. They may conceal entire formations beneath clouds of flies, summon demonic plagues, or cause fortifications to collapse as empiric parasites consume their foundations. Their sorcery is rarely elegant. It is invasive, infectious, and persistent, spreading through reality until nothing remains untouched.
I love the idea of hiding an entire formation under a cloud of flies.
Yep.
Like, and no one's doing anything about that.
What are you gonna do? Get the bug zapper.
Captain, there's a massive cloud of flies there. It's fine. It'll be nothing. Well, we did have reports of the Death Guard. No, it's just flies. Can you not see that?
What do you not get about a cloud of flies that want you dead? What's the problem?
They have a really funny moment in the Plague War where the Death Guard and Ultramarines are facing each other across a body of water. And the Plague Sorcerer is going, oh, no, like banging his staff. And a path forms across the water because the water is starting to rot and get diseased. So it's turning into like this thick gelatinous mass full of dead like wildlife and flora and fauna. And the Death Guard are like bouncy castle, like bouncing across this jello bridge over to the Ultramarines. It's so fun. Death Guard sorcery is always silly.
That's hilarious. The jello brick road.
Yeah.
And I've also just got this image of, the hey, what's your name video from God knows back when. What it's like gaming online. Hey, what's your name? And that video.
Oh yeah, across the water. Yeah. Fuck you, Terry.
Yeah, that's it.
Fuck you, Terry. Yeah.
You see this fire over here?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's sort of what I've got the image of. A Death Guard sorcerer and an Ultramarine librarian just shouting at one another.
Just wait till I get over there. A bone.
Yeah, that's wild. Another character we have is the Malignant Plague Caster. Not to be confused with the Sorcerer. The Malignant Plague Caster are sorcerers, though, whose bodies have become living conduits of the Garden Nurgle. Their pallid flesh, swollen organs, and fly-ridden forms are the physical result of their communion with the Plague God. Through them, the miasmas of Nurgle's realm bleed into reality. Their powers weaken, corrupt, and contaminate their enemies while strengthening the Death Guard around them. They are warriors who wield disease than disease given. They are less warriors who wield disease than disease given a voice and a body. Cool.
That's a sick line.
Yeah. This model's sweet. I've never seen them before.
Yeah.
Oh, there's so many hero characters that I've just like. They almost all blend because they're so chaotic looking and so like but they're so unique at the same time. It's this weird line.
They've got that string of familiarity of the Death Guard about them because it's green, it's rotten, it's got bits hanging off, it's got bits added, but each one has its own flavor.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. They generally do a pretty good job sticking out when you see them next to all the other Plague Marines.
For sure. Like this guy, like he's so cool. He's got like these little metallic fly wings on the backside of him. There we go. Yeah, like I've never seen that.
Yeah.
Like that's his own like weird little flavor that he alone has.
I love that model, but I also hate it because it's like impossible to get a hold of it in one piece. That little connection between the smoke on the staff and the smoke of flies on his finger, I've only seen that snapped in half. I've never seen it show up in one complete piece for anyone's mini, including mine.
Oh, interesting. Huh. Is this another one of those weird minis where you have to buy it in like a combat patrol? Like it's not just buy it off.
I don't know where it's at right now, but when I got it like 2 years ago, I had to order it from fucking Japan.
Okay.
It was Space Marine Heroes was the only place to get it besides a discontinued box that came with this guy. I don't know if you guys can see. There was a box that came out with this guy on it with a bunch of special Terminators. And these guys.
Yeah, isn't that wild? They have actually even another set of Terminators. They have like, is that a kill team?
Let me see. That's a good question.
Yeah, because where did those guys come from? Very cool. While you're finding that, I'll read the Tallyman. He's next. The Tallyman are the keepers of the Death Guard's sevenfold doctrine. They count everything: the dead, the wounded, the shells fired, the enemies fleeing, the victories won. Their calculations of both religious ritual and battlefield administration. Through their endless counting, they seek to align the war with the sacred number of Nurgle. As their voices rise and their tally grows, the Death Guard, the plague god's favor gathers around them. To the Tallyman, nothing is meaningless. Every death is a number, and every number may become a blessing.
They've weaponized accountants.
Well, they already have such a high body count. Just turn it outwards instead of inwards.
Yeah.
They do.
It kind of reminds me of the Death Corps of Kree Quartermasters, though. Everything has to be accounted for.
Yeah. These guys are big on the numerology and chatting with demons, too. These are one of the... Probably my favorite. I'm not going to lie. He's so much fun.
Look at what this guy's drawing in his little book.
What he's actually doing is starting a portrait of Mortarion.
You first start with the most recognizable bit. A fucking dick's on his head.
The dick's on his rebreather.
The dick's on his rebreather.
I love the fact as well that they're actively trying to make the numbers work as well. You know, they're trying to align the war with Nurgle's sacred number.
Yeah. You gotta fudge some. What's that office line? 11 plus 11 and you'll be home by noon or something like that. I don't know. Make up a number.
So the biologist putrefier. The biologist putrefiers are the plague alchemists of the Death Guard. Obsessed with creating ever more effective diseases, they carry the latest products of the laboratories into battle within racks of corrupted grenades and experimental weapons. Their mutations allow them to perceive infection in ways no ordinary being could comprehend, observing the spread of disease through flesh, armor, and bone. To a putrefier, a battlefield is not merely a place of war, it is a laboratory to be filled with millions of potential experiments.
That mutation.
It's the mad scientist guy.
Yeah. And that mutation they mentioned is they can see, they almost have like X-ray vision for diseases and viruses. It's like they'll look at someone and see their nervous system starting to glow green from like a piece of shrapnel that was infected hitting them.
Oh, cool.
That's really cool.
They got like some type of warp sense. Cool. Yeah, this guy you'd want to share a cup with for sure, I think. He would make a good cup of whatever. Draught.
He'd be great at a cocktail bar.
Yeah, exactly. He's flipping them around, doing his moves, chatting up the pretty lady.
He's actually pre-made a load of cocktails on his back, look.
He
just takes one look at you, looks you up and down, and just picks one at random and gives it to you.
Yeah, I do like these shitty little sticks that he has hanging. He's like has to go look for these shitty sticks to hang everything off of.
Yeah, I love that too. Like a insect or some kind of bird that's had its wings rot off, but the what's the word? The tendons are still visible.
Oh, I didn't know he had two of them. That's fucking crazy.
Equally,
one on each side.
it looks slightly Christmas bauble.
The Christmas tree man.
I cannot see it.
Yeah, now he's gonna decorate your tree at night.
In
And
fairness,
leave a nice loaded pile of shit on next to the plate of cookies.
I feel like Christmas trees for parents are a disease.
Yeah.
Why is the cat pulling it down? Kids, stop taking the chocolates off of it. Whoa, take that out. So the plague surgeon. Plague surgeons are the corrupted descendants of the apothecaries who once preserved the lives of the Death Guard. Their old duty has been inverted. They no longer seek to save the healthy or restore the wounded. They tend to the diseases of Nurgle, cultivating parasites, phages, and contagions within their own bodies. Their touch infects, their breath carries spores, and the instruments they use for surgery are as dangerous as any weapon. Wherever a plague surgeon walks, sickness follows. They're the petri discs we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've got a named plague surgeon. That's Mortarion's personal physician.
Does he
And that's
have a
it.
model?
I suppose that's his model that you're looking at. It says
Okay.
Nauseous Rotbone, which is the character. It says that on the box for the model, but he's
Oh, yeah.
also just like the Plague Marine model or Plague Surgeon.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, that definitely is a named character that it's no longer named anymore. Weird.
It's weird. And the codex info on him is like, he's Mortarion's personal physician. That's it.
Okay. Mortarion gets sick a lot and needs a lot of house calls. Yeah, cool.
Plague Marines. Plague Marines form the unbreakable core of the Death Guard. Their bodies are swollen with corruption, their armor fused with decay, and their flesh constantly renewed, even as it rots away. They feel little pain and show even less concern for wounds that would cripple ordinary warriors. Across 10,000 years, their numbers have continued to grow rather than diminish, making the Death Guard unusual amongst traitor legions. They are not merely survivors of the Long War. They are its enduring product. Ooh, that's a sick line.
Mm.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be
Plague
honest. You face a plague marine, you're done. Let alone all of the other.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be quick with this because it's a bit of a tangent, but the Dark Imperium trilogy kind of sold me on Primaris and accepting them into the universe in a bit. Because the Primaris show up, they have their toy commercial moment where you see how cool they are and how much they beat up the Death Guard. They kill a bunch of people. But then the Primaris are on a ship that the Death Guard attack. And it makes it clear that these are actual Death Guard members. These aren't like thin-blooded conscripts that have joined the ranks. These are the real deal Death Guard with Typhus leading them. And they just steamroll through the Primaris reinforcements. And they make a big point of like 10,000 years of warfare. There's nothing you can do to equalize that mismatch in experience.
Sure. Yeah. Do you guys like the kill team version of this Plague Marine? This is the normal one. And then the kill team one is these guys. These guys seem way more like lots more little demons on them and stuff, nurglings and stuff.
I didn't even know that was a kill team, because those are the models that were Space Marine heroes, like individual models in Japan.
Okay. So then, yeah. So is that, then maybe they made it into that kill team.
That makes sense. I kind of prefer the kill team, honestly.
I love the fact almost all of them have nurglings as well on the kill team.
I'm making a nurgling kill team right now with all my spare nurglings.
Nice.
Only one stomach mouth too on these guys, where the other ones they have a bunch of stomach mouths. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, it's this slight variation. Like they look so similar side by side. They look great, but yeah, these guys have a little more tentacles, a little more nurglings, and the other guys a little different, more like antlery.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Foul Blight Spawn is next.
Oh, my bad. That's me. I was like, damn, who's going to start talking? Foul Blightspawn are plague marines consumed by a particular delight in suffering and disease. Their bodies become increasingly grotesque as their obsession with plaguecraft deepens. While their minds fill with forbidden knowledge of toxins and contagions, they are driven to create ever more terrible weapons of infection, often carrying their latest creations into battle. To a foul Blightspawn, every enemy is a test subject and every battlefield an opportunity to perfect their next disease. These guys are disgusting motherfuckers. Their faces, their mouths kind of extend into little teeth suckers that sit inside their like plague doctor-esque helmet. And once they hit a point where, I guess the way to word it would be they're locked in on being a foul blight spawn, there's no real coming back for them. They go back to the factories on the plague planet to have that giant ass tank installed like through their guts. So it's attached through their back. There's like a toxic brewery in their guts that's feeding into that. And there's a little crank on the model that like looks like it would be hand cranked coming out the side of his stomach under his rib cage for the plague spewer. It's foul.
Yeah, okay. I'm starting to put all those little details together now. That's wild. Yeah, that's a nasty mini.
Yeah.
There's
very cool.
I said it last time. Looking at the Death Guard minis just makes me want to do them.
Time to start, buddy. Let's go. Everyone should start Death Guard.
I'm not letting that plague spread.
Yeah, fucking end it here.
Hard at work.
Possessed are rare among the Death Guard, for most Plague Marines already consider their own diseased bodies sufficient vessels for Nurgle's power, yet some surrender themselves entirely to demonic possession, allowing a demon to reshape their flesh into a weapon. Horns, tentacles, chitin, wings, and other mutations may emerge as the demon host becomes a single entity. As the resulting warrior is stronger and more resilient than either component alone, but the price is absolute. When the host dies, the host and the demon are cast back into the warp together. Interesting.
Yeah, pretty straightforward for possessed.
Yeah. That'd be like the Hammer and Bolter episode, where the Plague Marine's exploding into fucking teeth that are eating himself.
Fuck. I hate when that happens.
Sounds like a Thursday night to me, but there we go.
Yeah.
And that's also what happens to anyone that drinks A1 tea off of that chart.
Yeah.
So, Chaos Cultists. The Death Guard draw countless mortal followers from worlds already weakened by disease, despair, and suffering. Some cults rise from populations that have embraced Nurgle's gift, while others are recruited from the tribes of the Plague Planet or formed from slaves taken during the Legion's wars. These cultists prepare worlds for the Death Guard by poisoning supplies, spreading infection, and stockpiling weapons. When the Legion finally arrives, the uprising has often already begun. In battle, the cultists attack in vast numbers, their diseased bodies and fevered minds making them indifferent to pain and death.
Yeah, pretty easy to spot a cultist of Nurgle. They'll usually have one of these protruding things out of their head. They might have a stomach mouth. But yeah, pretty easy to spot.
That's what I was thinking. These ranks would be, I'd assume, where all the poxwalkers get pulled from, on top of like prisoners.
Yeah. It'd be cool to see some like other zombies, other poxwalkers from Xenos. Like, what would Eldar poxwalkers look like? What would poxwalkers look like? Now we're talking.
Yeah, here's one for you guys. What would Gellerpox look like? I sure wish Games Workshop sold a model for that.
They have but they won't share.
See, I also think Krieg as
Are they?
Death Guard cultists could really work.
Yeah. All about death, life for death.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, yeah.
I'm still upset about that mini range. I got it before they discontinued it, but
Yeah.
fuck, I want more. All right. Vehicles and
those
armor
Daemonic guys are
assets.
cool.
They're so sick. They're mine and everyone's proxy warp spawn. Rusted tracks grind through rubble and bone as the engines of the Death Guard belch poisonous smog into the sky. The earth shudders beneath their passage. Pockmarked tanks and diseased war machines force their way through enemy lines, delivering weapons and warriors directly into the heart of the foe. Mortarion always understood the value of heavy armor, despite his preference for infantry warfare. In the millennia since the heresy, the Death Guard have rebuilt their armored forces through theft, desecration, and manufacture. Space Marine vehicles are captured and corrupted, while new machines emerge from the rusting manufactura of conquered Forge worlds. The Death Guard regard their tanks as tools, not relics. Their armored formations exist to support the infantry and are rarely treated with reverence. Yet when unleashed, these squadrons remain formidable. Beneath the banners of the plague companies, tanks, transports, and other war machines advance besides the Legion, their engines coughing through the smoke as their guns reduce resistance to wreckage and ruin. I just want to pull this out real quick, since I heard tanks and Death Guard in the same sentence. Mortarion and the Death Guard beat the Iron Warriors and Perturabo. Mortarion personally beats Perturabo's ass.
When and how and why?
That's a good question, because there's not a lot of detail on it. But it's an event called... it's like the War of Rust and Poxes or something.
Okay.
But the Death Guard are showing up to claim a site, like a chaos site. And the Iron Warriors want it too. So they just go to war over it. Mortarion duels and beats Perturabo. And all their tanks and stuff are starting to fall apart with Ferric Blight. So the Iron Warriors blow up all their trenches and go home.
Screw this, I'm going home.
One last fuck you before we go.
In fairness, do you ever need an excuse to fight Perturabo?
No, that is true.
I'd go out of my way to fight that guy. Yeah.
Especially Mortarion, the two pettiest.
I didn't want this chaos site anyway, but seeing as you want it, I want it now.
Well, you got it. I'm setting off all my trench bombs. Fuck you.
Well, they don't have they have quite a few tanks, I suppose. You know, they make use of predators and demolishers and rhinos. They have tanks. They're not common, but they do definitely like the plague burst crawler. And it seems like a lot of their armament has kind of changed to this. Plague burst crawler are immense siege tanks built to advance where lesser machines would fail. Their ram blades, heavy armor, and demonic construction make them exceptionally difficult to destroy. Their plague burst mortars fire over great distances, each shell detonating into corrosive spores and explosive force capable of rivaling heaviest Imperial artillery. They are slow, but speed has never been a strength of the Death Guard. The crawlers advance with the same grinding certainty of the Legion itself. Mortarion designed the first of these engines as an act of spite, seeking to surpass the artillery of his former Imperial kin. The demonic nature is the final expression of his contempt. Even the machines of the Death Guard are not permitted to remain merely mechanical. They must be corrupted, diseased, and made to endure. Yeah, this is a cool little tank.
Mm-hmm. I always imagine little like tentacles, fleshy bits growing on it.
Yeah.
Starting to come to life.
Reloading the mortar. With tentacle bit.
What always gets me is there's never any splashback though. No one ever paints it with like whatever rot just sitting on the armor and just rolling down the front.
Death Guard players, what are you up to? You're making fishy angry. Yeah, like I know what you're saying. Like, yeah, the center strip here should just be grimed up.
Yeah. At least
I
I
can't
know
s-
what I know what I'm doing when I inevitably end up doing a Death Guard army as well.
Yes.
So I think so far that's now 3 armies I'm starting simply because of chatting on here. Cheers,
You're
guys.
welcome. Yeah. Yeah. Do we remember what the tank, the 30k siege tank, is called that the Plague Burst is based off of roughly?
Oh no, I don't.
Did they say it was based on a specific tank, or I think it's just implied that it was, maybe?
I think it's just implied. You're right. Like I don't think it's specifically after this one, but it really looks like it. But I guess you can only build a tank in so many ways as well.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
like,
it's
yeah,
a fairly
that kind
it's a relatively straightforward design as well. Put gun on chassis.
of, yeah.
I can
mean,
kind of see that, actually. The one you were just looking at.
Yeah.
Like they took that base and just added like stacks of armor plating over it. Oh yeah, I guess so. Oh, someone's asking.
Yeah.
Very similar for sure.
But
Very
then to me, I feel like you could do some really cool kit bashes as well. So if you got a hull of another vehicle and just covered it in debris, detritus with a massive gun,
Yeah.
you can make some really cool Plague Burst Crawler proxies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because by the sounds of it,
Yeah.
they don't so much care about the chassis, just the result. And there's going to be some that have rotten out to a point where you wouldn't recognize them as a Plague Burst Crawler.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
wondered what other kind of plague, like a Plague Burst transport where, yeah, you take the turret out and then it's just like an open-topped cargo hatch with a bunch of Plague Marines inside. Yeah,
But
cool.
but the floor's rotten out, so it's actually the Plague Marines that are having to
Yeah,
Fred
they-
Flintstone it.
Flintstone style.
Classic.
So
That's how it gets such speed.
yeah, you could have a lot of fun with Death Guard. Just say, well, it's rotten, all right. So the armory, the wargear of the Death Guard reflects the same qualities as the warriors who bear it: endurance, corruption, and relentless utility. Their weapons are rarely elegant, maintained, or beautiful. Bolters are caked in filth, blades corroded into instruments of disease, and armor is allowed to rust, crack, and decay so long as it remains functional. Plague Marines can carry weapons that spread contagion as readily as they inflict physical wounds, while heavier formations deploy corrupted tanks, demon engines, artillery, and weapons capable of reducing entire formations to ruin. From the humble plague knife to the immense man reaper and the diseased engines of war that grind across the battlefield, Death Guard wargear is designed not for speed or finesse, but for the slow and inevitable destruction of everything before it.
Cool. I'm loving all these like cinematic effects that they have nowadays. Like this like slime bit.
Yeah.
Very cool. Do you ever buy any muzzle effects or anything like that? Flamer stuff?
I'm getting some.
Okay.
AK Interactive has started doing them. And some of them look really nice, and I'm a massive AK fanboy. So
Okay.
there are some really cool stuff out there.
Yeah, I've heard some people like they don't like them, like it distracts from the mini almost, or like it becomes the focal point, or like I've heard the same argument, like I've made it with like LED lights, where if you put like an LED light in the Titan, it almost becomes different than a miniature.
Yeah.
The light becomes the focal
Interesting.
point as opposed to like your paint job.
Yeah.
But the cinematic effects aren't that bad.
No. I think you can put emphasis wherever you like, really.
Yeah, I mean, fuck it. It just looks fun.
Yeah, you can do it more subtly. You know, you can have the effect there, but okay, you don't do a massive OSL or OLS type effect around it. You just have a little dash of color.
Yeah.
But yeah, Because I'm thinking about getting some for my tanks, but magnetizing them.
I've been hand making them with little scraps.
Nice.
All right, couple more items of the armory that we'll add. You know, we talked about the Man Reaper. We've talked about in 30K they had like all this radiation weapons and like plague. They didn't call them plague weapons, but
Plague spurt. They've
spurts.
got the big ones and little like wrist mounted plague spurts for the death shroud.
Cool. Yeah. So it kind of evolves into definitely more like slimy, grimy, biological type weapons for sure. Like they definitely always had them, but now it's like, yeah, really obviously they're shooting green sludge at you.
Yep. Quite literally, Nurgle's Rot. Nurgle's Rot is a psychic affliction granted to certain servants of the plague god. Those who unleash it call forth supernatural contagions that spread through the enemy ranks, killing the unprotected with terrible speed. I love that so much. That's where all the fun of the Death Guard come from, is they just do disease. So you can take that idea of disease in any ridiculous, obscene direction. Like they can get away with narratively whatever the fuck they want through disease.
Yeah. Well, like even we were joking, like even female space marines, like I don't like it. I wouldn't want to see it, but I would allow it. You can definitely come up with like this crazy, unique colony plague that infects just your warband and does this crazy thing to you. It's a really great way to like have a personality, an extra personality. That gimmick that we always talk about, where it's like, okay, what makes your guys yours? Well, they have this unique plague. And with that plague comes some boons and a couple not so good things. Like they lose their limbs after a while. But
yeah,
very cool.
On a 6, their left arm drops off.
Yeah, 1 out of 6 isn't that bad though. That's pretty good chances.
Yeah.
Wait, do we want the arm to drop off or not? I don't.
Oh, good point. Is the arm dropping off actually a pro? Therefore, it buffs it further. Ooh.
Arm drops off and you lose your range capabilities, but +2 to melee because now it's a big ass tentacle holding a mace.
Yes.
Sick. They've got blight grenades or death head grenades are among the most infamous weapons of the Death Guard. Crafted from the severed heads of conquered foes, they are sealed, filled with festering biological matter, and left to mature into weapons of infection. When detonated, they release corrosive vapors and virulent pathogens capable of eating through armor and flesh alike.
Oh man, that's just one of the most 40K things ever. Like, let's make a grenade out of a human skull.
Yeah.
Why? Well, because skulls are plenty. Down a dozen.
We just got them laying around.
And also, it's going to piss off corn.
Yeah, exactly. But you got to make sure that you sew the mouth shut so all the explosives don't fall out of it.
Oh, I thought it was so the mouth could warn the guys on the other end. Hey, I'm coming. You might want to get out.
I'm coming. Fucking hell. Oh man. They also have plague knives. The plague knife is the corrupted descendant of the Death Guard's traditional trench blade. Once a simple weapon of brutal efficiency has become a rusted instrument of contagion. Its edge carries disease and decay. Even a minor wound may become the beginning of a fatal infection. To the Death Guard, the knife is not merely a weapon, it is an instrument through which Nurgle's blessings are derived. Yeah, I would imagine like almost every Plague Marine has one of these things.
Yep.
And yeah, if you get close to it, that's the outcome. You're going to get a little scrape from it that's then going to turn south on you. And the final thing we'll talk about is the Destroyer Hive. The Destroyer Hive is Typhus's most infamous gift from Nurgle. His body serves as a living host to an immense swarm of plague-infested flies, each carrying disease and corruption. The swarm surrounds him in a cloud of contagion, blotting out light and spreading sickness wherever it goes. It is living proof of Typhus's damnation, an award granted for delivering the Death Guard into Nurgle's embrace. yeah, Typhus deserves his own episode at one point, not today. We loosely touched on him, but this Destroyer Hive, I imagine there's all types of variations of it, like not just Typhus has flies and like wasps living on him, and then pretty common, I imagine, but very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's so fucking scary in Lords of Silence. Like, as he's talking and grunting and like just fucking juddering like a zombie, he's like coughing and grunting and flies are bursting out of his faceplate. It's so nasty. Or he gets mad and goes like, "No!" and all the flies like burst away from him and start to slowly cover him back up.
Oh, I hate it.
What film? It's oh Lord, the film Green Mile.
Yeah.
The flies coming from the mouth.
Yeah.
Flies in mouth. Let's see what happens with this search. Oh yes, I know that scene now. Fuck, I would hate that to have to happen to me. Don't you think?
But you'd be fine if you wanted it to happen to you.
Yeah, if I don't want it to happen, I would hate for that to happen.
And Typhus isn't even reacting. He's like just mid conversation still, while the cloud explodes out every syllable.
Fuck.
It's like someone who doesn't realize that they're spitting slightly as they talk. Perhaps he just doesn't, just carries on, and like there's one little marine just new to being a plague marine, just
does he know?
Yeah, it's just they're just doubting
something
him.
right here, but
No one else is doing anything.
You got a little something right here.
He swipes it off and the skin just sloughs straight off.
Sorry?
Thank you.
Thank you, brother. Well,
Another 6 boils appear.
Yeah. Seven boils. Come on.
Sorry. Sorry.
No, 6 is good. 2 3s.
Oh shit. Okay, we're back at it. Numbers. Fun with numbers. Nice. Well, fun episode. The Death Guard and Mortarion. Yeah, I don't know. You either love them or you hate them. I think most people love them. They're gross to look at. Like, they're just so nasty, but like, they're just so cool.
Mm-hmm. They're really, really popular for the Chaos factions. Death Guard more than Mortarion.
Yeah. Some fun character arcs. Like, they got a couple cool characters from Nathaniel Garrel to Typhus to Mortarion. They got some cool stuff going on for sure.
Mm.
Could go for a little more.
Thoughts. I could go for a little more chaos, corruption.
Yeah.
One more boil. Yeah, I don't know. I like them. I kind of gained a new respect for Mortarion, just all the hypocrisy. I love to see that has happened to all 4 of the major demonic primarchs or whatever, that they all kind of didn't really want that. And the fate that they thought they were going to get is not the one that they got. It's always fun.
It's always the way. Always the way.
They're just explicitly the best. They're the coolest thing in Warhammer. I love them so much. I'll never get tired of them.
Have you always been like, you got into Warhammer and that was your army from day one, or?
I got into the Space Souls first because I was reading the Heresy. Yep. I got into the Heresy and like I'd read 3 books and then read a 40k book just to take a break. So I went through like 4 years in the hobby before I got to the Death Guard book, the last fucking book of the series. And I was like, wait, these guys are fucking awesome. And then they appear a lot in the Siege. 8th edition came out and they started getting novels, and I just like fell completely into the Death Guard hole. They're so cool.
Okay. Just fell into the Death Guard's hole.
Straight into the tank.
For you. Yeah.
It's that tainted love.
Taint and love.
Oh, I started this thinking that I liked Mortarion. I now like the Death Guard, but dislike Mortarion.
Interesting.
Fair. He's a piece of shit.
Yeah. But
he's my piece of shit.
I can say that, you can't. But yeah, no, I think I really admire the Death Guard's loyalty in spite of the known irony and hypocrisy.
Yeah. The doubling down. There's something to say for that, for a person like that, where you're like, really, you're gonna double down, and he's like, I am. You're like,
yeah, I'm locked in.
Okay. I'm dug in and I'll never change.
Yeah.
Fun.
He's the one who raises a 20 in blackjack.
Yeah, but you know that guy's getting the girls.
Oh yeah, he is. Oh yeah.
Mortarion?
Oh yeah, he is.
He didn't.
man.
We didn't specify what kind of diseases that they were experimenting with.
Yeah. All started with the sexual variety, as always.
Yeah, always. And we've gone full circle back to the sexual tension.
Yeah, back to the sexual tension that we can just linger in. Let it sit. Let our audience just sit with that for a minute.
Yeah, yeah. Just absolute silence whilst we all stare into the webcams.
Yeah. You guys want to see my third nipple? Just Nurgle stuff. Just Nurgle things.
Yeah. Do you want to see my really gaping belly button?
Oh, yes.
With teeth starting to sprout.
Yes. And Triple Gaff, what do you have?
I've got a helmet. Other than that, I take showers. I'm a clean, good little boy.
Okay.
Those mutations are all for you guys. I'm a fan on the sidelines watching the Death Guard. Keep at it, boys, and keep your
More
distance.
diseases for me. Cool. Well, I had a great time exploring the Death Guard and what they have to offer. They still definitely have so much more. Like, we'll get into their battles. We'll get into what the Plague Wars actually are and kind of their reemergence in 40K. Yeah, that's a good kind of base. I think you'll know and get the vibe of them. You've either fallen in love with them at this point and have bought some minis, or you're about to. You're waiting for your next paycheck. So I think that's where we leave it. Everyone just hovering over the buy button.
Yeah, sounds good to me. I'd like to say much love, all the listeners. Good luck with the rest of your workday.
Yeah.
Fantastic stuff.
Fishy.
Yeah,
All
no,
right, well,
thank you all. And thanks for listening, guys.
Yeah.
Join the Discord and the Patreon.
yeah, love it. Come listen to the lore, Hammer, listen to the lore, submit your lore. If you have written some cool plague colonies, you got some specific diseases, let me know. I'd love to read about it. Maybe you're manifesting one in real life. Let's see. Send me pictures. But yeah, cool. The next episode we're either gonna do some more armory episodes, but we're gonna jump into Xenos armory. Take a little break from Space Marines, or we'll just go into other Xenos topics. But I feel like they need some love. So going forward, let us know what kind of Xenos topics you want to listen to, and maybe we'll do some independent characters maybe for Xenos. Let us know. But yeah, we'll see you all on the next episode of Lorehammer. Thanks for listening.
Cheers, boys. Much love.
Good night.